than I could imagine, and that is enough. Oh, I'm already loved. I'm already chosen. I know who I am. I know what you've spoken.
So we start in the next 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. We're just waiting on others to join. So enjoy the beautiful music. All right. So we start in the next 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. We're just waiting on others to join. So I must thank everybody for joining, and we're just waiting on others to join. So I implore you to continue listening to some good music as we await for others to join.
It's
Amen and amen. Jara, you are enough. Greetings and welcome. We, the Physical Education Master students here at the GC Foster College, in collaboration with University of Technology, invites you and welcomes you to another sports webinar. And this year's theme is Shifting Gears, Embracing Physical Education in the 21st Century. To kickstart this program today, I must invite the darling of the soil, Miss Phyllis Thompson, to give the welcome. Phyllis?
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to our esteemed guest, Miss Sylvia Grant, assessors, dedicated educators, enthusiastic students, and other stakeholders. It is my pleasure to stand here today as we embark on a journey under the inspiring theme, Shifting Gears, Embracing Physical Education in the 21st Century. In a world that is rapidly evolving, the importance of physical education cannot be overstated. As we shift gears into a new era, we recognize that physical education is not merely about sports and exercise. It is about nurturing holistic well-being, fostering long life fitness, and integrating health into every aspect of our lives. The 21st century presents us with unique challenges and opportunities. And it is through physical education that we can equip our students with the tools they need to thrive. Today, we celebrate the dynamic role that physical education plays in our modern society. It is a vehicle for developing not only physical prowess, but also essential life skills, such as teamwork, perseverance, and leadership. Physical education encourages resilience, promotes mental health, and instills a sense of discipline that transcends on the playing field. As we embark this shift, we must also embrace innovation, technology, and new methods for transforming the way we approach physical education. From virtual fitness programs to interactive health apps, the possibilities are endless. It is our responsibility as educator and advocate to harness these advancements, making physical education more engaging, inclusive, and effective. Let us also acknowledge the dedicated professionals who are at the forefront of this transformation. Our physical education teachers and coaches are the unsung heroes who inspire and motivate our students every day. They are the ones who ensure that physical education is not just a subject, but a cornerstone of a healthy lifestyle. We must recognize the role of our community and parents in supporting this endeavor. Your involvement and encouragement are critical in creating an environment where physical education is valued and prioritized. Together, we can create a culture that celebrates active living and well-being. As we move forward, let us commit to fostering an environment where every student has the opportunity to discover their potential through physical education. Let us champion programs that are inclusive and accessible, ensuring that students, regardless of their abilities and background, can participate and benefit. In closing, I would like to express my gratitude to everyone here today. Your presence is a testament to your commitment to advancing physical education and promoting a healthier future for our children. Let us embrace this shift with open hearts and open minds, ready to champion the cause of physical education in the 21st century. Thank you once again for being here. Let's make this event a memorable and impactful one. Thank you.
Thank you for this. Thank you so very much for the warm welcome. And everything that we do, we have to involve God. So at this point in time, I'll invite the Reverend or Resident Reverend, Mr. Marvin Daly, to breathe a word of prayer for us for today's proceedings. Mr. Daly?
Thank you very much, my brother. At this moment, let us pray. Dear Lord, thank you for what you have been doing. Thank you for what you continue to do. We pray, dear God, that the internet may behave itself, that indeed the electricity may be on for such a time as this, with this pertinent information, so that it may be able to be disseminated in such a way that when we leave this place, we may be able to say, indeed, it was good for us to be here. We're thankful for those who are here already, and we're thankful for those who are on their way. Dear God, we pray that indeed today may be a productive session. Thank you for everything that you have been doing. Dear God, we thank you for the organizing committee, the members who are responsible for such a session like this, and that our hope and prayer will be that this session may be something to continue in the future. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, my blessed Reverend, a man of God in every way and in every shape. But before we get started with the information and knowledge, today is Labor Day here in Jamaica. So I'd just like a few participants share with us what is normally your Labor Day routine is like. You can comment in the chat. I will just take 2 responses before we get into the meat of the matter. I ask my technicians to just notify me when those responses has been sent in or replied. What is Labor Day like? What's your Labor Day like activities in Jamaica? Somebody states here that fixing the community center is an activity that they indulge on Labor Day. Another person states that they do deep cleaning, so getting the house in order, probably to have over some friends later on. And this goes on and on. I do thank you for those responses. And we move into the meat of the matter. We have some interesting speakers coming up that will be discussing shifting gears, shifting topics, if you may, in physical education in the 21st century. And we'll invite back the darling of the soil, Miss Phyllis Thompson, to introduce our first speaker. Miss Thompson?
Born on April 25th, is a dynamic individual with a passion for education and athletics. He began his academic journey at Rossi's High School, where he displayed exceptional talent and dedication, graduating at a remarkable age of 16 with 8 CXC subjects. Continued his academic pursuits. He excelled in 6th form, successfully passing 4 CAPE subjects, laying a strong foundation for his future endeavors. Driven by his love for both education and fitness, Giovanni pursued higher studies at G.C. Foster College, where he attained a bachelor's degree in education with first-class honors. Throughout his academic journey, he demonstrated unwavering commitment and a thirst for knowledge, earning admiration from peers and mentors alike. Beyond academics, Giovanni is a multifaceted individual, holding certifications as a fitness instructor, coach, and sports massage therapist. His dedication to physical well-being is evident not only in his personal pursuits, but also in his professional role as a teacher at Rossi's High School, where he imparts knowledge and foster growth in the next generation. With a blend of academic excellence, athletic prowess, and a genuine desire to make a difference, Giovanni Parkins embodied the spirit of a true leader and educator, poised to leave a lasting impact on the lives he touches. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Giovanni Parkins.
Thank you so much, Miss Phyllis Thompson, for such a wonderful introduction. I must admit, upon listening to my own autobiography, I was wondering, who is this person she is speaking of? Not even recognizing that it's myself so much. I want to say thank you for all the viewers who are in attendance today, as we're here to explore and uncover all the information on enhancing educational approaches, the use of technology in physical education. But before we take on this journey, we must understand the fundamentals, which are: what is physical education? What is sport? And what is technology? Now, these terms may not be foreign to most of us, but for those who don't know, allow me to enlighten you. So, technology refers to the application of scientific knowledge and practical purposes, especially in an industry. It encompasses a wide range of tools, machines, systems, and devices that are designed to solve problems, improve efficacy and efficiency, and enhance the quality of our lives. Physical education is a field of education that focuses on the development of physical fitness, motor skills, and overall well-being through various physical activities and exercises. It aims to promote healthy lifestyles, teach the importance of regular physical activity, and develop skills that can be used in sports and recreational activities. And as we speak on sports, this refers to a competitive physical activity or game that involves physical exertion and skill. Sports, as we know, can be played individually or with teams. And various examples of sports can be soccer, basketball, netball. We all know a lot of examples. So allow me to now touch into things that we may not know, but can be very beneficial in advancing the lives of not just us, but the students and every generation to follow. In the modern era, The integration of technology has significantly transformed various aspects of education. And the realm of physical education and sport is no exception. The incorporation technology has brought about revolutionary changes in teaching methodologies, student engagement, and overall learning outcomes. From wearable devices to virtual reality simulations, technology offers a plethora of tools and resources to enhance educational approaches in physical education and sport. Now, as I spoke a second ago about wearable technology in physical education, two things that will stand out as we traverse this avenue: fitness trackers and smartwatches, which I know many of us may be somewhat au fait with. One of the most notable advancements in the field of physical education and the proliferation of wearable technology are fitness trackers and smartwatches. And we also have other wearable devices that have become the most important tools for monitoring physical activity and performance. These devices provide real-time feedback on metrics such as heart rate, steps taken, distance covered, and calories burned, empowering individuals to track their progress and make informed decisions about their health and fitness goals. In the educational context, wearable technology holds immense potential for enhancing student engagement and accountability. By incorporating wearable technology into physical education programs, educators can promote a culture of self-monitoring and goal setting among students. Take this into consideration, for example. Students can set a daily step goal, track their activity levels during physical education classes, and monitor their overall fitness progress over time. This not only encourages students to take ownership of their health and well-being, but also fosters a sense of responsibility and commitment to regular physical activities. Moreover, wearable technology enables educators to collect valuable data on students' performance and participation. By analyzing such data, educators can gain insight into student behavior patterns, identify areas of improvement, and tailor educational and instructional strategies to meet the diverse needs of each student. For instance, if certain students consistently fall short on their activity goals, educators can provide targeted support and encouragement to help them stay motivated on track. In this way, wearable technology serves as a valuable tool for enhancing educational approaches in physical education and promoting lifelong fitness habits among students. Now, here are some images of the wearable technology in physical education monitoring: the smartwatch and also, the smartwatch and also the fitness trackers. Now let us explore the virtual reality and augmented reality in sports training. Another exciting application of technology in physical education and sports is the use of virtual reality, which many of us may refer to as or know as VR, and augmented reality, AR simulations for training situations. VR and AR technologies create immersive interactive environments that replicate real-world scenarios, allowing athletes to practice and refine their skills in a safe and controlled setting. In the context of physical education, VR and AR offer unique opportunities for enhancing sports training and skill development. For example, athletes can use VR simulations to practice complex maneuvers such as tackling in football or even shooting in basketball without the risk of actually being injured. Similarly, AR applications can overlay digital information onto the physical environment, providing athletes with real-time feedback on their technique, positioning, and performance. Furthermore, VR and AR technologies enables educators to create customized training programs that cater to the individual needs and abilities of their students. By immersing students in realistic game situations and scenarios, students can enhance their decision-making skills, spatial awareness, and overall performance on the field or court. Additionally, VR and AR simulations can be used to stimulate challenging environments such as extreme weather conditions and hostile crowds, allowing athletes to develop a sense of resilience and adaptability in high-pressure situations. Overall, the integration of VR and AR technologies in physical education holds immense potential for enhancing sports training, improving performance, and maximizing learning outcomes. By providing students with access to cutting-edge training tools and resources, educators can empower them to reach their full potential as athletes and excel in their chosen sport. And finally, we take a step into the realm of gamification of physical activity. The application of game design elements to non-game contexts has emerged as a powerful strategy for enhancing engagement and motivation in physical education. By incorporating elements such as challenges, rewards, and leaderboards into physical activity programs, educators can create a fun and interactive learning environment that inspires students to participate and strive for excellence. One of the key benefits of gamification is its ability to promote intrinsic motivation and self-directed learning. By framing physical activity as a game or challenge, educators can tap into the students' natural desire for competition and achievement, encouraging them to set goals, push themselves to their limits, and take ownership of their learning journey. For example, educators can design fitness challenges, such as completing a certain number of push-ups or running a certain distance, reward students with badges, points, and other incentives for achieving their goals. Moreover, gamification fosters a sense of camaraderie and teamwork among students as they work together to overcome challenges and achieve common objectives. By creating a supportive and collaborative environment, educators can promote social interaction, communication skills, and leadership qualities among their students, all of which are essential for success both on and off the field. Additionally, gamification provides educators with a powerful tool for assessing students' progress and performance. By tracking students' participation, achievements, and progress in a gamified activity, educators can gain valuable insight into their strengths, weaknesses, and areas of improvement. This data can inform instructional decisions, identify students who may need additional support or encouragement, and help educators tailor their teaching strategies to meet the diverse needs of their students. I have a small poem that I have written titled The Digital Playground that gives some enlightenment as to this topic that we're traversing. In the realm where pixels meet the playground's edge, where screens and fields converge, a new chapter is pledged. No longer bound by lines of chalk or rules of old, innovation breathes a new life, story yet untold. Wearable wonders adorn each eager wrist, tracking steps and heartbeats, goals not to be missed. Virtual realms beacon, inviting minds to soar, where dreams take flight and victories galore. Through lenses of virtual reality, we explore the world of endless possibilities. Furthermore, with each swing, each kick, each leap we take, technologies guide our journey, a bold leap we make. Yet amidst the digital dance, we must remain aware. For the balance, we must strike with utmost care. For screens may dazzle, but the heart yearns to roam in fields of green where memories find a home. Let us embrace the fusion, the marriage divine of technology and tradition, where greatness does shine. In the digital playground where dreams take flight, we carve our path with courage into the boundless night. Conclusively, the use of technology in physical education and sports have revolutionized educational approaches, providing educators with innovative tools and resources to enhance students' engagement, improve learning outcomes, and promote lifelong fitness habits. Whether through wearable technology, virtual reality simulations, or even gamified activities, technology offers endless responsibilities for empowering students to reach their full potential as athletes and active participants in society. By embracing these technological advancements and leveraging them to their fullest potential, educators can create a dynamic and inclusive learning environment that inspires students to excel both physically and academically. I want to say, I hope that we would have all learned about the fusion between technology in the realm of physical education and sports. I want to say thank you for listening to my presentation.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Lovely, lovely poem. As the comment is saying, lovely presentation, Mr. Parkins, that you're sweating. It was indeed a very informative presentation on the interaction or the integration of technology and physical education, how it has impacted it, and much, much more. Indeed, we must thank you for that presentation, and we hope that you just grow from strength to strength. At this point in time, Q&A. We are sponsored by Digicel, the bigger, better network, and we do have some lovely credits, Digicel credits to give away. But we do have a question, and I would like the first person to answer this question in the comments, whether on YouTube or Zoom, will receive a credit, a Digicel credit, sponsored by Digicel. And the question is, in what ways can technology be leveraged to promote lifelong fitness habits among students? Again, the question is, In what ways can technology be leveraged to promote lifelong fitness habits among students? Again, the first person to give the correct answer in the comments, chat comments, will receive a credit sponsored by Digicel. And we're moving right along as we have our second speaker coming up to the stage. I must invite the lovely Miss Sherian Doman to introduce our second speaker. Sherian.
Thank you, Mr. Bent. It is my pleasure to introduce a remarkable individual who has made a significant contribution to the field of physical education and sports. Joseph Lemmy is a proud past student of St. Jago High School, where his journey in sports and education began. His passion for physical education led him to pursue a diploma of education at G.C. Foster College. Joseph furthered his academic journey at the Jamaica University, where he graduated with a bachelor's degree. His academic excellence is a testament to his dedication and commitment to the field of education. Joseph's qualification extends beyond academics. He holds a certified level 1 cricket certification from Cricket West Indies, underscoring his expertise and deep-rooted passion for the sports. The certification is a significant achievement, reflecting his skills and knowledge in cricket coaching. Joseph's commitment to excellence, both in the classroom and on the cricket field, makes him a valuable asset to the St. Jago High School community. His journey is an inspiration to students and colleagues alike, demonstrating that with hard work and passion, one can achieve great heights. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Joseph Lemmy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Doman, for such artful welcome. Pleasant good afternoon to my colleagues and audience tuning in on the Zoom and YouTube platform. It is my pleasure to be here and to speak on one of the most controversial topics in the 21st century, be it gender in sport. A paradigm shift in the 21st century. Under the theme, Shifting Gears, Embracing Physical Education in the 21st Century. And before I continue my presentation, a PowerPoint will guide the process. Moving along. I will continue. Education and training are essential for personal development and creating a more competitive, equitable-based society. Through education, it is possible to foster areas of improvement and progress for individuals and the mindset of society. One of the topics that has been gaining a lot of traction and significance is gender equality. This is an issue and of great importance in the formal education system, as equal opportunities for both men and women are essential for achieving parity. Therefore, the education system must work to overcome sexist attitude and ensure that gender equality is one of the fundamental values citizens need to enhance in the 21st century. Schools should promote an inclusive and democratic education that respects the principles of equality, fairness, and social justice for all members of the community. Moving on. So this presentation, there are areas of discussion. So we're going to look at gender and classification, Degender in physical education and sport classroom, role of sport in addressing gender roles in the 21st century, accepting differences and use of appropriate language, creating safe spaces for students despite gender differences. This is very informative. Please stay tuned. Now we're going to look at gender. As I said, it's one of the most controversial topic that we can speak about in the 21st century. According to the WHO, that's the World Health Organization, gender refers to the characteristic of women, men, girls, and boys that are socially constructed. This includes norms, behaviors, and roles associated with being a woman, man, girl, or boy, as well as relationship with each other. As a social construct, gender varies from society to society and change over time. Gender is hierarchical and produce inequalities that intersect with social and economic inequalities. Gender-based discrimination intersects with other factors of discrimination, such as ethnicity, socioeconomic status, disability, age, geographic location, gender identity, and sexual orientation, among others. This is referred to as intersectionality. Gender identity refers to a personal sense of an individual own gender. Because a person's sex and gender identity do not have to be the same, it is important to know the difference between them. Irrespective of a person being called a male or a female, it does not specify that they will act as that gender. According to medicinenet.com, there are about a dozen broad categories of gender that an individual can be classified as. So I will only look at 7. So the first one that we're going to look at is agender. An agender person does not have a gender. The body of an agender person does not always correspond with their lack of identity. These people are considered androgynous, which simply means they are neither male nor female. So they do not see themselves as either male or female. So they act the part. Second one, cisgender. Many people identify as cisgender. This means that you believe your biological sex or the one you were assigned at birth correspond to your gender identity or how you perceive yourself. Gender fluid. A gender fluid person does not identify as a male or female, but rather as one or the other depending on the day. Imagine you have in your physical education class and a young man come in the class and said, "Miss, I don't feel like I'm a boy today. I am going to be a girl today." And that is something that you'd have to respect because that's how they view their gender. And that is something that is basically on our shores and something we as physical education teachers and coaches in general have to be a faith with. Let me continue. Gender queer. This person may identify as a male or a female, as between or beyond genders, or a mix of the two. Genderqueer is another term for someone open about their sexual orientation. They may or may not identify as heterosexual or same-sex, gender loving. Fifth one, intersex. Intersex refers to a group of medical conditions in which a person is born with chromosomes, genitalia, and or secondary sexual characteristics that contradict the traditional definition of a male or a female body. Gender nonconforming. Gender nonconforming refers to a person who either by nature or by choice does not conform to gender-based expectation of society. This gender goes along with a lot of the ones above. Transgender. This is the one that most of us will be familiar with. Transgender is an umbrella term for a person whose gender identity differs from the one assigned to their physical sex. And let me continue. Just sometime last year, we had a brewing at the University of the West Indies with regards to this gender issue. The Gleaner, May 23rd, 2023, published an article titled Gender Policy Brewing at the University of the West Indies, and I quote, "The new policy focuses on a person's gender identity, cisgender, transgender, gender, gender non-conforming, non-binary, genderqueer, among others, rather than their sexual orientation given to them at birth. It further went on to suggest that it is said to be designed to foster a secure environment in which all students and staff members across the spectrum of gender and sexual identities on all campuses feel protected and safe from any form of gender-related violence and create living, working and learning environment across the university which provide for people of all gender identities and sexual orientation. And you know something like that happening at the university, persons are not going to take that lightly. So Christian group at the university basically object to the proposal. So it is until then, we haven't heard anything about that. So more likely, seeing that the university is international, students of different identity and orientation may be accepted because those cultural norms are acceptable in other countries. Continuing along, degendering physical education classroom. Many physical education systems within Western countries have historically segregated boys and girls during activities, with certain activities more prevalent for boys, such as ball games, while other activities like dance and gymnastics are taught to girls. This often based on gender notion that position boys as highly competitive and excelling in such areas that required strength, speed, and aggression. Girls, on the other hand, were positioned to be less competitive and to be excel in activities that requires flexibility, agility, and teamwork. In the late 1980s, as a result of the feminist movement that challenged patriarchal system, curriculum changes took place in many countries. Larson 2009 highlighted such an example in Sweden and noted that many girls were taught the activities that were previously only taught to boys. The reverse, however, did not happen. The author reported that dance and gymnastics were effectively removed from the curriculum, resulting in a reinforcement of heterosexuality, gender stereotype, and dominant notion of masculinity. Within this system, if boys want to perform dance, their masculinity and sexuality will often be questioned. In a similar vein, Vertinsky 1992 noted that girls who enjoy participating in competitive games and sport would often be viewed by their male peers as unattractive, man-hating, and possible lesbian. Rather than reinforcing these restrictive gender stereotype attitudes and practices, schools' PE programs should be used as a platform to address and androcentric views and homophobic practices. The structure of PE is gendered, and so that is the way PE is often taught. In his author ethnography, Landy 2017 described how his teaching method were often based on the assumption that boys would perform better in activities that build strength, whereas girls would excel in activities that promote flexibility. He suggested that assumptions reproduce dominant gender views within PE. These gender views shape the way bodies are known. For example, bodies that embody the standard of masculinity and strength are known as masculine, whereas bodies that embody the standard of thinness and slenderness are often known as feminine. He further suggested that through his teaching practices, he was shaping his students towards heterosexuality, gendered bodies, and limiting their experiences and identities. It is evident in our contemporary society that gender in sport is a thing of the past. There's total domination of male sport being partaken in by female and are being dominated. And I guess most of you did not know that netball is predominantly now played by males. The Jamaica now has their male netball team that is called the Suns, and they have been participating in a lot of competition in England, New Zealand, South Africa. And those countries are the mecca of netball, and in the Caribbean as well. Moving along. Role of sport in addressing gender roles in the 21st century. And before I even continue this, many of us were affair with the ancient Olympics back in Greece, in Olympia, Greece in 1776. We all know that it was basically male dominated. Females were not allowed to participate. And if it was that a female was caught entering the stadium, they could be punished, and that punishment could even lead to death. Not even married women could accompany their husband to the stadium. Only virgins were accepted because these competitors compete in the nude. Now, because of the brilliant mind and idea of Baron Pierre de Coubertin, who conceptualized the modern Olympic game in 1896. However, it was not until 1900 in the Paris Games that females were allowed to partake in the Olympics. And they basically partake in sports like lawn tennis, escutcheon, and others. One of the most significant changes in the 21st century is the recognition and acceptance of gender diversity in sport. Beyond the traditional binary notion of male and female athletes, there is a greater acknowledgement of transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming individuals participating in sport. This shift represents a departure from the rigid gender norms that have historically shaped the sporting landscape and opened opportunities for individuals of all gender identities to engage in sport without the fear of discrimination. For example, organizations like the IOC, which is the International Committee, have taken steps to encourage gender balance in sport by increasing the number of female athletes and promoting mixed gender competition. And most of us are aware of the mixed relay teams. So this is something that the IOC is looking into, and they have been put into the forefront. We have seen it in the World Championship. We have seen it in the international relays. So it's something that is on our shores and something that is going to be more dominant in the near future. The IOC, through its mandate, have also increased their effort to promote gender equality in sport, include advocating equal pay, investment in women's sport, and equitable media coverage. They have implemented policy to ensure gender parity in participation and leadership. And added to that, the IOC in the 2016 Rio Olympic, they allowed transgender to participate. However, they had no competitor. But in the 2020 Rio game, we had Laurel Hubbard compete as the first trans woman, and she actually competed in the weightlifting. Studies among young women in South Africa indicated that athletes from one sample were more likely to have fewer children than non-athletes. Female from the same region. Studies from among young women in high-income countries show that female athletes are less likely to consume drugs. And these social drugs we're talking about, like cocaine, marijuana, and alcohol, other than non-athletes. With the evolution of gender roles in our society, we have started to see women participate in certain sports that were at one time only associated with one gender. Women athletes today are not only seen in a feminine manner, but also as more emotional and physically empowered individuals that younger athletes can look up to. They are dominating the sporting discipline, which were once dominated by their male counterparts. Sports like rugby, football, tennis, even basketball have seen a large influx of females taking center stage. Sports serve a powerful platform for challenging and transforming traditional gender roles in the 21st century. Through increased female participation, advocacy for equal treatment, and changing media portrayal, sports contribute significantly to the ongoing struggle for gender equality. Looking into the future, women's sport look to become even more prominent in our society based on how gender roles are considerably changing, not only in sport, but also in areas of our culture. Moving along. Accepting differences and use of appropriate language. Now, as we all know, most of us we only know a male and female, and oftentimes we would relate to each other based on our sexual orientation. But because of the plethora and the large influx of different gender identities, this is something that we know as facilitators, not only teachers, not only coach, but facilitators. We have to be okay with, and we have to respect a person's position. We have to respect a person's stance. And this is one of the reasons why I'm basically looking at this, so I can sensitize you guys on how to deal with issues of this if and when you are confronted by such. Language plays a crucial role in shaping attitudes, perceptions, and interactions in physical education and sport. Using appropriate language involves being mindful of impact of words and phrases on individuals from diverse backgrounds. This includes avoiding language that is exclusionary, derogatory, or reinforces stereotypes based on gender, race, ability, or other identities. Instead, use language that is respectful, inclusive, and affirming, help create an environment where everyone feels welcome and valued. Education and training are key components of fostering diversity and language sensitivity in physical education and sport. Educators, coaches, and administrators should receive training on topics such as cultural competence, diversity awareness, inclusive language, and anti-discrimination policies, therefore not being offensive to individuals who may not see themselves as the gender that they were given at birth. A lot of professional development seminars on the topic of gender identity must be held to sensitize educators, coaches, and administrators to help ensure that these individuals working in physical education and sports settings have the knowledge, skills, expertise, and resources to create inclusive and welcome environment for all participants. Moving along. Creating safe spaces for students despite gender differences. Promoting inclusivity in physical education and sport requires intentional efforts to address barriers and create opportunities for participation and engagement of all individuals. This may involve adapting activities and instruction to accommodate diverse needs and abilities, providing access to inclusive facilities and equipment. So nowadays you might not only have a male and a female bathroom, but you might have others. And that other bathroom may be used for those persons who may not use the gender that they were given at birth. By actively promoting
You are muted.
sorry about that, by challenging stereotypes and promoting positive representations of diverse individuals in physical education and sport, educators and coaches can help break down barriers and create a culture of acceptance and respect. In closing, women, girls, and femininity have been defined in relation and contrast to men and masculinity. Sports and the sport world have been tied with the masculine domain, and there has been a legacy of bias against the female athletes. In the past few decades, this trend has been confronted and challenged. Girls and women have tackled narrow negative and limiting concepts and ideas that they should not participate in sports, sweat, show aggression, or compete, and begun to include physical strength and athletic prowess in the definition of femininity. The large increase of female participation in athletics seems to be related to the rapid growth of many professional women's leagues and has increased coverage and representation of women in the world of sport. They ended my presentation. I hope you have learned something on this controversial topic of gender in the 21st century.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lemmy. That's a lovely cover shot. Yeah, as it relates to cricket, of information as it relates to gender in physical education. I know that you're an avid all-rounder. That's a well-played shot, my friends. There's a lot of information, people, that was given out by the esteemed speaker. And I have two questions. Just two questions. This topic. So the first question is list 5 classifications of gender identity. Again, list 5 classifications of gender identity. And number 2 is what is the difference between gender and gender identity. So I'll ask my YouTube participants. I have not forgotten you. I have not forgotten you at all. I'll ask my YouTube participants to answer any of these questions, and a credit will be awarded to you. Moving right along, and we're up on our final speaker for this first part of the session. I'm going to invite Miss Sharon Dome, Miss Phyllis Thompson, coming back again to us to introduce our third and final speaker for part 1 of the session. Sharon?
Good afternoon again, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce our third speaker, Mr. Orain Gardner. Born and raised in the rural community of Jericho, Hanover, Orain grew up in a close-knitted environment that instilled in him the values of hard work, resilience, and compassion. These values have profoundly shaped his career and philosophy in the field of physical education and health wellness. Orain's educational journey began at Rossi's High School, where he discovered a passion for physical education and sports. This passion led him to pursue further studies at the G.C. Foster College of Physical Education and Sports. The knowledge and skills he gained there prepared him for a career dedicated to promoting holistic health and wellness. In April 2012, Orain joined the Ministry of Health and Wellness as a physical activity specialist at the Western Regional Health Authority. Over the years, he has had privilege of working with individuals and communities to promote the importance of physical activity and healthy lifestyles. Today, he proudly serves as the sole regional physical activity specialist at the Western Regional Health Authority. His philosophy is simple, but yet powerful. Movement is the medicine of life, and exercise is optional, but movement is essential. He believes everyone has the potential to improve their health and wellness through movement, regardless of age or ability. As a fitness model and practitioner, he prioritizes sustainable lifestyle changes over quick fixes. Through his journey, Orain has seen firsthand as to how movement can transform lives. He is proud to be a part of this transformation and looks forward to inspiring others to embrace the power of movement and wellness. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Mr. Orain Gardner.
Thank you very much for such
Yes.
a warm welcome. I am extremely elated to be here, and I am rather honored to be a presenter at this momentous event. Pleasant evening to you all. I trust that we all labored
in whatever we could today and is now ready to relax. So as we embark on this evening's agenda, as you can see on your screen, my topic is revolutionizing the 21st century, a scientific approach through physical education and sport. But before I dissect this topic, I want us to talk for a few minutes. This chart that is being presented to you is a KWL chart. It is asking for what you know, what you want to know, and at the end of my presentation, we will see what you have learned. So look closely at the topic on my chart. The effect PE and sports have on health. The effect PE and sports have on health. What I want you to do now is to type in the chat if you are on Zoom, or comment if you are on YouTube. What is it you know about the effect of PE and sports? And what is it that you want to know? Now, I will put the first 3 to 5 comments on the chart so it may be displayed. Then I will move along into the presentation. So we will spend just 3 minutes doing this. What we want to know about the effect of PE and sports on health. So let me see. And you can also type in the chat what you want to know. All right, so I am going to move into my presentation where I will give you a background. But keep sending in the chat, post in the comment, and the technician will get them on the chart for us. So I see the technician is still putting in the information. So we know that physical education makes us stronger. Physical education helps develop social skills. Physical education will help to reduce illnesses. Physical activity will allow individuals to live long and healthy. All right, we can move now to what we want to know. As we have 1 more minute on this chart. What we want to know. What do you want to know? All right, I see. How does PE assist in cognitive functions? I see what is physical education. What is sports? Interesting. Does physical activity really lengthens lifespan? Does PE help blood flow to the brain? All right. So in order to answer these questions, I now crave your undivided attention as we dissect the science behind PE and sports. Now, just to provide some background on the topic, physical inactivity has been identified as the fourth leading risk factor for global mortality, causing an estimated 3.2 million deaths globally. That is 5% of the world's death. That is led by ischemic heart disease, which accounts for 16% of all deaths, stroke by 11%, and pulmonary disease by 6%. In the past, infectious diseases dominated, but death rates from infectious disease have fallen quickly, faster than any other causes. This has led to a shift in the leading cause of death: non-communicable diseases. Non-communicable diseases such as cardiovascular diseases and cancers are some of the most common cause of deaths globally and are included in the 71% of deaths caused by NCDs. Now, physical inactivity along with other risk factors, for example, poor nutrition, tobacco use, harmful use of alcohol consumption, hypertension, obesity, and hypercholesterolemia. These are becoming increasingly prevalent in developing countries, and it is faced with urbanization. It is recognized that the promotion of physical activity initiatives is paramount in the reduction of non-communicable diseases, in particular cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and some types of cancers. Locally, in Jamaica, treatment of non-communicable diseases imposes a large economic burden on patients, their families, and the government. Studies indicate that an individual suffering from an NCD spends approximately 1/3 of their household per capita expenditure on healthcare services and purchase of pharmaceutical drugs. They also indicated that the 2006 and 2007 annual average total economic burden of NCD was estimated at $47 million. The Jamaica Health and Lifestyle Survey shows that 82% of Jamaicans are engaged in low physical activity, 16% are engaged in moderate activity, while only 2% are doing high-level physical activity. The findings of this survey further revealed that within the last year, only 52% of Jamaica's population made no attempt to increase their level of activity. Now, what is the rationale of this presentation? It is simply asking for physical activity to be increased. Physical activity has many benefits. It can reduce global mortality by at least 6%, reduces heart disease by 30%, diabetes 27%, breast and colon cancer by 21 and 25% respectively. Physical activity burns fat, helps to maintain a healthy weight, and it reduces stress. So with the Jamaica Moves Reloaded initiative, we expect to see the mortality and the morbidity rate trending down over the next decade. Now, there are some terms that I must posit before I proceed any further: physical education, physical activity, and sport. I will not read it as it is being displayed on the screen. So I will just move directly into the benefits of physical education and sport. Now, physical education and sport has a profound impact on health in today's society. Regular physical activity, which is a fundamental aspect of physical education, has numerous benefits for overall health and well-being. Some of the key ways physical education impact health includes: 1, chronic disease prevention. Regular physical activity helps prevent chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and some cancers. 2, mental health. Physical activity reduces symptoms of anxiety and depression, improves mood, and enhances cognitive function. 3, obesity prevention. Physical education helps maintain a healthy weight, reducing the risk of obesity-related health issues. Bone health. Weight-bearing exercises like those learned in physical education promote strong bones and prevent osteoporosis. 5, social and financial benefits. Physical education fosters social connections, teamwork, and increases revenues and communication skills, essential for overall well-being. Cognitive development. Physical activity improves concentration. It improves memory and problem-solving skills. It even enhances academic performance. Number 7, which is an important one in my book, sleep quality. Physical education and regular physical activity promotes better sleep. This is essential for physical and mental restoration. Physical activity actually helps to encourage active lifestyles. It reduces sedentary behavior and associated health risks. It improves longevity, it improves immune function, and in today's society, where sedentary lifestyle and screen time are prevalent, the science behind physical education is crucial for promoting health and well-being across the lifespan. Now, how physical activity and sport actually improves health? It is crucial to understand the difference between mortality and morbidity rates before any relationship can be made. According to the World Health Organization, mortality rate is the amount of annual reported deaths in a country, while morbidity rate is the amount of annual reported deaths that are caused from a specific disease. Cohort highlights that people between ages 30 to 69 make up to 50%, which is 71% of deaths per year, and are correlated to the contraction of cardiorespiratory diseases, diabetes, and other metabolic diseases. The health organizations globally all agree that an increase in physical activity underpinned with a healthier lifestyle is the way forward to improve health. Now, how does the Ministry of Health and Wellness proceed to help to curtail the amount of non-communicable diseases that is spreading in Jamaica. Now, the Ministry of Health and Wellness has seen the need for exercise scientists and has created employment for 4 regional physical activity specialists that have studied and practiced, listen, physical education and sports. Now, us as physical activity specialists fight against NCDs using a scientific approach, backed by clinically tested methods and an emergence of empirical data. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has implemented an initiative to tackle NCDs known as Jamaica Moves Reloaded. The Jamaica Moves initiative is being rolled out into workplaces, schools, and the communities periodically by these specialists to stem the inactivity and to promote a better lifestyle. Jamaica Moves in the communities target specific groups that are out of school and are left back in the communities for various reasons, such as being retired, self-employed, unemployed, just to name a few. Their program includes health screening, fitness assessments, nutritional counseling that are complemented with educational resources. Follow-up checks are done and individualized exercise prescriptions are given to these persons in the community. Jamaica Moves in the workplace target various industries and organizations to implement a workplace wellness program. Their program enforces physical activity while being at work to boost the employees' health and the company's productivity. The program opens the door to health checks, physical activity, and nutritional intervention, even partnerships. Finally, the Jamaica Moves in Schools program is aimed towards supporting the Ministry of Education to implement 3 daily 5-minute physical activity breaks, 1 hour of physical activity break, and age-appropriate health checks, along with water and fruits day to their curriculum. The main similarity, however, across these 3 areas, the communities, workplace, and school, is the increased physical activity. The emerging data released from the World Health Organization is pointing to greater emphasis on better lifestyle choices. Thankfully, to physical education and sport, there are scientific solutions to help reduce the number of morbidity through physical activity and a healthy lifestyle. Now, metabolic syndrome. What is metabolic syndrome? We will look at metabolic syndrome to know how PE and sport improves health. Metabolic syndrome is a collection of conditions that often occur together and increase your risk of diabetes, stroke, and heart disease. The main components of metabolic syndrome include obesity, hypertension, high levels of blood triglycerides, low levels of HDL cholesterol, and insulin resistance. Chronic diseases all derive benefit from exercise. Exercise falls under the umbrella of physical activity. This is so because they can be genetically classified as metabolic and lifestyle-driven condition. Heart disease is the #1 killer worldwide. That is one of the foremost risk factors when living a sedentary lifestyle. Indeed, your heart is made up of 95% muscles. So once we expose it to exercise, it significantly decreases the risk of cardiovascular disease. Movement exercise training, when well structured in prescriptive dosages, has a positive impact on health. Indeed, Physical activity stimulates the entire body through enhanced blood circulation, deeper inhalation and exhalation to satisfy the demand of the working muscles. The demand of working muscles from increased cellular metabolism will result in an increase in metabolic rate. This great feat can be met using a muscle-centric approach. This is the use of essential movements to trigger a greater amount of muscle fibers without causing high levels of inflammation. I must point out that excessive metabolic stress and inflammation is a recipe for cardiovascular diseases. However, GLUT4, also known as glucose transmitter, transport high levels of glucose, same thing as sugar, to the surface of the muscle tissues with the muscle-centric approach. The GLUT4 uses the glucose as energy, which increases insulin sensitivity and improves blood flow, which when repeated over time, manages diabetes and hypertension. It is important to note that when the body is at rest after using a muscle-centric approach to exercise, the body turns to the adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is commonly known as fat tissues. It turns to these tissues to get energy so activities can be properly fueled. Or will end up mopping up cholesterol, plaques, and other sediments that block the blood vessels, which would normally lead to cardiovascular disease. However, for the sustainability of optimal health and wellness, prescriptive exercises and an increase in physical activity alone will not suffice. Balanced meals, balanced hormones with an adequate rest and sleep are the keys to avoiding or overcoming problems related to metabolic syndrome. But we must underpin it with healthy lifestyle. In light of this, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is taking a strategic approach by sending out clinicians into the communities, workplaces, and schools to directly attack the rising pandemic of metabolic syndrome. People can now receive exercise prescriptions, nutritional recommendations, and healthy lifestyle practices. Now, let us look and watch this video and hear what the Ministry of Health and Wellness recommends for a healthy lifestyle.
One, two, three, two more. 1, 2. Adults to 30 minutes activity daily. Love your body, treat your body right. Vegetables, make sure you eat plenty. Children do 60 minutes activity daily. Drink some water when you feel thirsty. Cut down dessert and have a smoothie. Jamaicans, love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. One more time now. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Listen up. Make sure you know your health status. Go a doctor and get a regular checkup. Chronic disease can slowly creep up. We can lower the risk and live up if we just eat right and get moving. Jumping, running, dancing or skipping. Change the children, them lazy habit. Make them play out the door and put down the tablet. Jamaicans, love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right.
Now, here is the list of references for any additional information. we can go back now to our KWL chart to find out what you have learned from my presentation. Type in the chat if you're on Zoom and comment on YouTube if you are streaming live so my technician can tabulate the KWL chart. Want to take the next 2 minutes, put in what we have learned. Did we learn what is sports? Did we learn what is PE? Did we learn how PE assists in cognitive function? Were those questions answered?
I'm seeing in the chat where Kamika Swell Ray, she said that the need to do at least 30 minutes of exercise daily to enhance my life.
All right, at least 35 minutes daily.
And I'm also seeing Shanice Rowe. The government has now put in place programs to combat NCD, non-communicable diseases. And Shireen Vassell, we can keep cardiovascular disease at bay if we move daily.
Very good. Thank you very much for that. Now, I want to thank you all for being such an attentive listener. And my parting note that I must leave with you. If I didn't leave this, I wouldn't be Orion Gardner. I wouldn't be a fitness enthusiast. I wouldn't be the regional physical activity specialist. Movement is the medicine of life. Exercise is optional. Movement is essential. Thank you.
Lovely, 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 Mr. Gardner. Lovely, lovely topic. Lovely in every words. It's almost like we were just serve a bottle of fine wine, if you may. Because truth be told, Mr. Gardner, COVID-19 would have rocked the country, and a lot of us slim persons, Mr. Gardner, would have put on a lot of weight, including myself. Because one time I was very slim, but these days I have to be wearing a little bigger shirts and a bigger pants these days. But yes, you just reminded us the importance of physical activity and the benefits that it also garnered. Yes, I do have one more credit remaining, and I would love to give it away at this moment. So if you're ready for some digital credit, I want you to type in the chat, say ready. If you're ready for a credit, I want you to type in the chat and say ready. I say one person say ready. I want as much person. Remember, Olympics is coming up in Paris, France. Yes, so we need to be ready. So we are ready, and here we go with this credit. So the numbers is *121 *87358 11219057. Let me see who gets that one. Do we have a winner?
Someone in the chat is saying that flow would be great. Unfortunately, we only have digital right now.
Yes, Miss Thomas, probably the other time we get a flow credit for you. I must apologize for that one. So do we have a winner over YouTube, Mr. Technician? Any winners as yet? No winner at all? Okay, lovely, 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 lovely. We have a winner, and Miss Nisha Robinson seems to be that lucky winner. Congrats, Miss Robinson, for winning yourself a digital credit. As we wind down to part one of our webinar,
Congratulations.
we have a little entertainment in the mix for you, a little surprise, just to put a little icing on the cake. So at this point in time, I'll invite you to listen to a rendition from Chevelle Stewart and Friends. And on the other side of this musical item, Mr. Winston Robinson will take you through part two of today's sports webinar. So, Mr. Stewart, the stage is all yours.
She must wipe her eye. Papa says she nothing foolish, like she never been to school at all. It's a perfect wonder. It's a perfect wonder. While they were dancing in that ballroom last night, Johnson in a room afraid. Uncle say he must pull up him head. Auntie say him nothing foolish, like there's no time for his wedding day. It's a perfect wonder. It's a perfect wonder. While they were dancing in that ballroom last night. Oh God, I'm so sweet and dandy, 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 sweet and dandy. I'm so sweet and dandy, 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 sweet and dandy.
Not hearing you, Daniel.
At this time, I will pass over the baton to Mr. Winston Robinson, who will run the backstretch and onto the anchor for this sports webinar today. Mr. Robinson, the race is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Bent. You know, I am so much not a runner, you know, I'm more of a footballer, or sometimes I try to be. But since you had asked me to conquer this race, I will do so. Let me first observe the established protocol and say, good evening, everyone. Let me also use this opportunity to thank all those who remain the course to part two of this our sports webinar. Under the theme, Shifting Gears, Embracing Physical Education in the 21st Century. I am Winston Robinson, and by now you should guess, I will be your moderator for part two of this, our sports webinar. Before we go any further, I want us to do an activity. Anybody driving? Anybody driving? Okay. All right, good. So this activity is not for those who are driving, because I am going to ask you to close your eyes. And you are going to think back to when you were in grade 6 to early high school. And I guess I will have to pause a little right here to give some persons a little bit more time to think back, since they might have a further way to go back to that stage. By now, we should all be there. I want you to think of that one child, or probably two, in your class. You know, when they turn up to physical education class, nobody wants them on their team because they are either obese or they might just don't possess the skill to take part in the sporting discipline that is being done at the time, or they might have some physical challenge. Now you have thought about that. I am asking, and I want to hear from two persons. Now that you have thought about it, tell me, how you think they feel, or they felt then? And now that you have thought about it, how are you feeling? So I'm asking two persons, Mr. Technician. We could probably take one from the YouTube and we could do one from here. So just quickly say it to us. Anybody? Any goal? Anybody?
Jean Harris said that she felt bad and that you should not leave them out. That's what she said. Jean Harris
Okay.
Golden from June.
Yes. At this point, I would want to share a story with you. I try to play football. You know, I would not say that I am the best, but for those who know me, I am a 5 feet 2 inches, sometimes 5 feet 3 inches giant. So I went to two teams, one a school team and one a club team. And I was excluded from those teams, not because of my ability to play football. They looked at my size and decided that I could not up the grade. The club team, I remember that evening when the coach said to me that, you know, he had a group of us and he was saying that, you know, he's sorry and not everyone will make this team and all of that. So while I was going out, somebody said to me, you get cut? And he called the coach and he said to the coach that him captain Jose Marty, Manning Cup team, you know. And the coach called me and he said he never realized, because he was saying all along that the face look familiar. So he's asking me to come back to training the next day. I never turned up. I never went back there. And it was a similar situation with the school team. Not to call any name. However, I felt then that, you know, because of my size, persons were thinking that I was not good enough, when the result is there that I would have been playing better than most of who they had at the time. I am baffled somewhat, because I am wondering, why is it that persons who just look at somebody and for whatever reason, they will just jump to a conclusion that this person can't do that, or they can't do this. And you know, if we should take the research of what physical education does. You know, it helps any sickness, any ailment you have. They are going to tell you that, you know, physical activity is one of the treatment. And if that is so, why is it that we are stopping persons from participating in physical activity? We know that physical education helps to relax persons, helps to relax the mind. It helps to release catharsis. So as a result, it will help to reduce violent behaviors. With all of this in mind, we saw it prudent to focus on inclusive physical education, achieving holistic success. I repeat, for this half of our sports webinar, we are going to be looking at inclusive physical education, achieving holistic success. So at this point, we will up into session 4, where we will look on overcoming barriers to inclusive physical education. At this time, we will invite no other than Mr. Frederick Montague to introduce to us our guest presenter for session 4. Mr. Montague,
It's a
all
pleasure.
yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to introduce our 4th guest speaker, none other than Sylvia Grant. Sylvia Grant is a celebrated Paralympian from Jamaica. She was born on January 2, 1966. She grew up in a close-knit family in the parish of St. Catherine. Sylvia faced significant challenges from an early age due to her physical disabilities. But she was surrounded by a supportive family that encouraged her to pursue her dreams. Sylvia is a dedicated mother of 3 children. Her journey as a parent has been intertwined with her athletic career, and she has often spoke about the motivation her children provide. Despite the demands of training and competing at the highest level, she has always prioritized family, balancing her roles as an athlete and a mother with remarkable grace. Sylvia attended St. Catherine High School, where she began to develop her interest in sports. The school provided her with the foundational support and opportunities to engage in various athletic activities. Sylvia's athletic career is nothing short of extraordinary. She has represented Jamaica in multiple Paralympic Games, including 1992, 1996, 2000, 2004, and 2008 Paralympic Games. Her events range from javelin to shot put to discus throw, showcasing her versatility and dedication. Sylvia's outstanding contributions to sports and her exemplary representation of Jamaica on the international stage have been recognized by the Jamaican government. She has received numerous awards, including number 1, Order of Distinction, the Officer Class, one of the highest national honors in Jamaica, awarded for her outstanding achievements and service to the nation. Number 2, National Sportwoman Award. This award recognizes her performances and contributions to Jamaican sports. Number 3, Paralympian of the Year. Honored multiple times for her achievements in the Paralympic Games and her role in promoting para sports in Jamaica. Sylvia Grant's legacy extends beyond her athletic achievement. She is a role model and an advocate for athletes with disabilities, inspiring countless individuals with her determination and success. Her story is a testament to the power of resilience and the impact of supportive communities in achieving greatness. Through her dedication to her sport and her unwavering commitment to her family, Sylvia Grant has cemented her place as a true icon in Jamaican sports history. Her contributions continue to inspire new generations of athletes, providing that with determination and support, any challenge can be overcome. We welcome Sylvia Grant.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for inviting me on this Zoom meeting. I was born with a sickness they call congenital deformity. And I was born in Port Antonio Hospital, and I leave from there when I was 3 months old and come to Mona Rehab Center in Kingston. That's where I grew up. And from there, I go to a school where they do sports, and somebody invite me to this Paralympic, and I go in it, and my first event was in Seoul, 88, at the Paralympic Games. I get 3 silver medals. The 3 silver medals, what I get, one was discus, shot put, and pentathlon. Pentathlon is an event, you have to do 5 events to get a medal. So I do discus, shot put, javelin, 1500, and 100. That was my first event, and I did enjoy it. And I'm asking people, please do not say we cannot do anything. We can do the same thing like anybody, everybody. Our sports is like everybody, but only thing we do it in wheelchair. We do everything, swimming, running, everything that you can think of in sports. We can do it as we are physical challenge. We can do it also too. And I went to 8 Olympic, 8 a World Championship, 4 Pan Am Games, and I went to USA meet. I get in the Pan Am game, I get a World Championship in my javelin at that games. I was so happy when I get it. I was a shy person when I was small, and since I'm traveling, the shyness leave me. I don't have it anymore. And then I get a daughter and a granddaughter. And people in Jamaica, they love me, and I love kids. I'm working at a school at Oak Valley Experimental where I help kids to do sports. They have physical challenge, and you have able-body, where they do sports at that school also too. I was at the primary champs since last week, and we carry 40 odd kids at that champs. We reached in the general one. We went in 2 relay in class 9 to 12, and from 9 to 10 in the 4x200 and the 1x400. We did not reach the final in that, but we are working on it. We're going to do better next time. And I have people where I do physical challenge, like let them to use their hand to get strong. And I have a gym, a little gym what I have at my house where I have people who work to get fit. And then build sports day. We're having a sports day coming up in August, the 12th to the 17th. And we invite the kids them from in the area where I live. And this is going to be my 3rd one, and everybody love it. Everybody want to come in and join it. So if anybody interested, you can come, enjoy yourself. We do football, we do running, we do volleyball, we do cricket, we do dodgeball, we do a lot of things.
Miss Sylvia, thank you so much for what you have informed us so far, and I just want to say good afternoon to everybody else. My name is Milton Gavidan, and a part of the group responsible for this webinar that we are hosting at this time. Thank you so much for joining, Miss Sylvia. I really appreciate it. But just a few questions to ask you further for this afternoon. I must say that I applaud you for all that you have done. When we were doing research and looking at all the things that you did, and I can proudly say that you when I was a baby you were competing, and one of her members were saying, "No man, you got to check that can't be right. 8 Paralympic Games." And I said, "Yes sir, I went to do my research and I saw it. 8 Paralympic Games." So we looked, Wikipedia is one of the first place I normally just jump on to look at those information, as we get quick information. But we know that, for example, if we're going to do scholastic work, we're not supposed to visit that site. So I went on the Paralympic site, and when I saw it, I said, "Wow, I'm so impressed." But as we look at inclusiveness in physical education, Miss Sylvia, one of the things that I really want to ask you is, you being physically challenged, how did you feel being involved in sports, being physically challenged as you are?
At the first time, I didn't ever feel welcome because people in Jamaica, they don't really people with disability, because when we need help like sponsors, we don't get it like, oh, the able-bodied will get it. So I never feel good at that part. But when I go there now and compete, and I come back and I say, "Wow, thank you for thank you for the companies who help us to go there and compete." So we found that company who like Digicel. Digicel is one of our favorite. And then we have other small companies who help us to make we go there and do our part at the Paralympic Games.
Nice. And I must say, you're better than me, because I've tried that and I didn't make it any at all. Everybody know you same, but not me. When I see and what you have done, I really applaud you. I see you say you teach physical education at the Hope Valley Experimental Primary School. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right. So I am sure I have a little idea. I lived near to that school when in my younger years, as I observed them going on the skateboard to school in wheelchair, etc. when I was driving past in the bus. So I always wondered from a child going to primary school, high school, etc. How they participated in classes, etc. So I'd like you to tell me, what is the experience like with the physically challenged children as they participate in physical education classes, one, and two, do they participate with the able-bodied individuals as well, or there's a separate and apart class for them?
All right, then we have our school, the school that I'm down, they have physical and they have people with special ed.
Right.
So they are primary champs and they have their champs different. We're going to in June, the 20th in June, they're going to have a competition for those people.
Okay.
All school like special ed are going to compete together. So they do ball throw, jump, and running and relays.
Okay. So for physical education classes though, are they involved with everybody? Are you
Since I'm at that school, I
Right.
make sure they get involved, because I noticed when I just got out that school, they used to separate them. They never used to make the end with others. I said, no,
Right.
that cannot be. They need to get involved that they can do the same thing like us. So I talked to the PE teacher and he said, okay, so from that now everybody's getting involved with everything now.
Lovely, and I must say I applaud you for that, because that's what we need, not only in Jamaica but right across the world. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure those students who you assisted in being included in a regular physical education class or classes, that they felt involved, they felt as if they were important, don't it?
They love it.
Excellent. And before we're finished with you, Miss Grant, I'd like to ask any audience in our midst. Do you have any questions? For Miss Sylvia Grant at this time. Any questions? Please type it in the chat, and I'll herald them to her as you type. So let us see if our audience have anything to ask. Please do not rush the chat. You can take your time. We know you have a lot of questions you want to ask, and she's willing and waiting and able to answer all the questions that you have at this time. Okay, I have first question I have for you, Ms. Graham. The questions are coming, I must tell you. First question, wow! Let me open and read the first one before I lose track of what's going on here. So what was your experience in the school as it relates to the PE class, to the PE classes? I can change the question and say what is, because you are actually still a PE teacher there, right? Yes, so let's use the present tense, present participle tense here. So what is the experience like there, being a PE teacher?
First, when I went there, I just observe. I did not like what I see. And then from I change a lot of things. I'm so welcome. The kids love me. The kids are there. And when sports day, I get them involved in sports day too. To make them get involved in sports day. So when I reached there, I did not like it. And then afterward, everything just get well.
Okay, and there's an oversight there. As a student for you, how did you feel being a student, being physically challenged when you started to attend school as a student? That is.
Yes. When I was at school, I used to in the sports like PE. Like when PE, they never was taught us anything, and then a lady come there and see us and say, why you don't put those people to do things? So I in sports and I
Miss Sylvia, you're muted. Could you unmute your mic, please? Yeah, we're not hearing you. Just unmute the mic. Yes, it's unmuted now. You can go ahead.
Yeah, when the first time, when PE, they never want to give us anything to do. And then a lady, her name is Miss March, she is a dancing teacher, and she come at that school and she say, why you don't give the people physical to do sports like PE, and when sports day they do. So when the sports day come up, they make us do wheelchair race, and I won. And when I won, I said, "Whoa, this is lovely," and I love it. And then after that, everybody start to enter wheelchair race at the school.
Okay. And this is another question, but from Melissa Sanderson. She says she thinks inclusiveness for these students was a step in the right direction, and she's congratulating you on being able to achieve this. So please to keep up the good work. This question from Darren Davy is asking, what is your best winning memory?
Wow.
Yes.
The first event is in Seoul.
Go again?
When I win the Seoul, Korea, in '88, when I win the 3 silver medal.
Oh, in Seoul?
In Seoul, yeah.
Okay. You'll never ever forget that, don't it?
No, never forget that.
Yes, I understand. And moving right.
Milton.
Yes, Sir Robinson.
Before you move on, I would just love to find out why Seoul, those 3 silver medals, are the best in your estimation.
The 3 silver medal. The one what I really like is the one that I do 5 events. That one, I adore that one. Because I have to do javelin, discus, shot put, 1500, 3 times and a half round the track, and 100 meter. And I won in some, and I come second in some. And I end up with the silver medal in that event.
Okay, lovely, 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 lovely. A lot of work, yeah. You know, that's an event that a lot of athletes shy away from because of the
Yeah.
multiple events they have to do to gain a lot of points. All right. Next question, and before we end with you here this evening, someone is asking, how I will still ask the question, how do people swim in a wheelchair? But
Or
I'm
what?
how do physically challenged people swim actually?
All right. When we reach at the pool,
Mhm.
who cannot like walk, they have a guide, lift them, put them in the pool, and they hold on until when the whistle blow, they go. All right. The one who can walk little, we get out of the chair, go on the pool, and when the whistle blow, we swim. We do freestyle, breaststroke, all of those strokes. And if you don't have an hand, you still swim.
Okay, okay. I've seen it and
And we
it's
do
very
basketball
interesting.
too.
Okay, okay. What advice do you have for PE teachers who and
You
parents?
know what I want in the people who are at GC Foxa? I used to told used to have some kids used to come at Mona Rehab. I want them
Mhm.
to be a PE, not a PE teacher, a coach for people with disability because we don't have a lot of that in Jamaica. We
Okay.
don't have a lot of coach. We don't have one coach who is for Paralympic. We need more to come in, especially for blind people.
Okay, 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 understood. And a follow-up question to that one. What would be your advice to physical education teachers and parents who would have students and children who are physically challenged?
All right, for the PE, every school, from you other people, a person there with challenge, the physical challenge, we are asking, please do not leave them out. Try put them in everything you can because some of them are good at certain things. So please do not let them, don't tell them that they cannot do it. Please get them involved in everything at the PEs. Cricket, anything you're doing for PE, please get them involved because there are a lot of school are not doing that.
Okay, okay. Excellent, excellent. Next question. You say parents and can be very competitive. This is from Melissa Sanderson. At
And
sporting events.
with the parents, sometimes right now we have some kids. They are they are what are those kids now?
Mentally challenged.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So when we select those kids to go to champs,
Right.
sometimes the parents don't want the kids to go. I don't know why, but sometimes they don't want the kids to go. But they need to let go of those kids and send them. Let they go and experience out there. Don't hold on them. Send them out and make they go out and experience. Please don't hold them back.
And I agree with you because personally I have a neighbor who is she competes one of Jamaica's best, and she competes in swimming and in the Special Olympics, and I must say every year she comes home she has a lot of medals. I always trouble and say, boy, you need to give me your autograph, you know, because she has been doing well. And knowing them very well, what I can say, her mommy really supports her 100%. Whatever help she needs, when it is she has to speak internationally, and they are not sure what to do as it relates to technology, they will come by me and ask me to come by them and help out. And when it's training time, her mommy is there. She helps her out right through. If there's not a training program, guess what? The mommy is there will assist her in training when she goes to the national stadium pool. You know, so it's a good thing that they are being involved. You know, as we look at inclusiveness in physical education, I believe it should be something widespread. And I really want to thank you very much. You know, I believe some persons here were educated, and some were reminded of you know, including persons who are physically challenged, and you add the mentally challenged, and we'll align that to Special Olympics. But and I admired you when you explained to us that you went and changed what was taking place at the school that you're currently working, I must say keep up the good work. Miss Grant, we really appreciate you lending us your valued time, and
Yeah.
I pray that the Lord will continue to be with you and cover you under His blood. Have a wonderful rest of the afternoon, and please feel free to remain and stay with us. All right?
Yeah, okay. And
Yes.
thanks for inviting me.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gavidan. Miss Grant, I too should add my 2 cents because the truth is, not every day I get a chance to speak to an Olympian. I mean, so this is a pleasure for me, and I will say that you're a national treasure. I could sit and I know I am echoing the sentiments of everyone online that we could stay here and listen to you forever and ever. Amen. Because your story is one of inspiration. Your story is one of resilience. I mean, you are there talking and one song just keep popping, in my head. I don't want it to rain, so I will not sing it, but I will just say to you what that song is. That's that Shaggy song, the strength of a woman, because I think you're a strong black woman. And I think, because I was questioning the eight. I was the one questioning. So I am guilty. I was questioning the eight Olympics. I did my mathematics. I recognize that is 32 years. And looking at you, all those photos, looking at you now, I am saying somebody's lying because you are not looking anywhere close to the age, that I'm seeing projected. You're looking wonderful.
Thanks.
So you have been doing well, you have been doing good. As I said before, you're a national treasure. It is imperative of me not to say thank you on behalf of all of us, for sharing your story. I mean,
Welcome.
we are blessed to have you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, with that said, we will now step into session 2 of our program. But before we step into session 2 of our program, we are going to have an item by no other than Mrs. Diane Blake Daly. So could you put together your cyber hands and voice for no other than Diane Blake Daly.
Sometimes it's hard, but try and you'll make it. Believe you me. In order to achieve, go forward and take it. Set yourself free. With obstacles in your way, you may fall before you rise. But if you really want good, you know if you run, get up and set your eyes on the prize. So as part of the plan, you must have ambition and the Almighty One as your foundation. Now get rich and switch because that's definitely wrong. Imagine you forget from where you come from. If you a thief, remember God no sleep. You go laugh out the street because you beating a go street. So because God a silent river, so you know him run deep throughout history. Lots of great men and women who went about things the old-fashioned way. They just keep on winning and winning. So strive. Step up in life and go for what you know. You've got to strive. Remove the doubts from out your life and let good flow. Be not moved by smart remarks or people who think they're witty. Keep moving, mind, gotta be strong, and don't indulge in self-pity, but strive. Step up in life and go for what you know. You've got to strive. Remove the doubts from out your life and let good flow. Throughout history, lots of great men and women who went about things the old-fashioned way. They just keep on winning and winning. So strive. Step up in life and go for what you know. You've got to strive. Remove the doubts from out your mind and let good flow. You've got to strive. Step up in life and go for what you know. You've got to strive. Remove the doubts from out your mind and let good flow. Remove the doubts from out your mind and let good flow.
Yay! Thank you, Mrs. Daly. Wonderful, wonderful. And that is a big tune, you know. I don't know if the youngsters inside this group know that song. I mean, it is a very powerful song. If you pay attention to the words of the song, you know, they are very strong words. You know, it is poetry. I would want to ask a question. Who think they know who sang that song? And I'm not saying, and I don't want anybody to say Mrs. Daly did so, because yes, she did. But who is the who is the original singer of that song? I see somebody post Shaggy. No, it wasn't me. No, sorry, it wasn't him. So it was a Shaggy. Let me give you a hint. Yes, I'm seeing a name. Shined it is. That's it. Shined did that song. Very potent song. So we will continue our program and we will step into session 5. So at this point, we will invite no other than Mrs. Dana Freighter Johnson to introduce to us the speaker for session 5. It is all yours, Mrs. Johnson. Take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant evening to you all. It is indeed my pleasure to introduce to you our esteemed guest speaker, Mr. Marvin Daly. Hailing from the parish of Westmoreland, Jamaica, is a dedicated educator and a servant leader with a profound commitment to Jesus Christ. His journey of faith and leadership began early, propelling in various roles throughout his academic career at G.C. Foster of Physical Education and Sports, where he earned a bachelor's degree in physical education and sports. Additionally, he holds an associate degree in pastoral theology from Fairview Bible College. Mr. Daly served as a devoted under-shepherd of Lenox View Baptist Church, ministering to the spiritual and pastoral needs of his community. His leadership extends beyond the church, having served as the past president of the Ramble Community Development at the Nakalvia District Association. Currently, he is the president-elect of the ANOVA Association. In the public education system, Mr. Daly applies his extensive knowledge and skills as a teacher at Mount Peto Primary School, where he specializes in mathematics, science, and physical education. His role as a coach further underscores his commitment to the holistic development of his students. Marvin Daly is supported by his loved wife, Diane Daly, a remarkable woman whose intellect and faith enrich their partnership in ministry. Together, they are the proud parents of 2 children, Ariel and Danielle. Known for his adventurous and spontaneous spirit, Reverend Daly is as much an enthusiastic teacher as he's a minister, continuously seeking to inspire and educate those around him. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our esteemed guest speaker, a dedicated teacher, and a man of God, Mr. Marvin Daly.
Thank you very much, my colleague, for that heartwarming introduction. Indeed, I am so thankful to have this opportunity to share in this wonderful occasion, because PE is vital to our nation and to the upbringing of our children. I deem this as indeed a privilege to be here. So, good afternoon to everyone streaming on the YouTube platform, and also to those streaming on Zoom. It is my task and privilege to expound, clarify, help to solidify the importance of inclusive physical education, achieving holistic success. And so I want to move straight ahead into defining what is inclusive education. This is an approach that seeks to integrate all students, regardless of their abilities and disabilities, into mainstream classrooms. This model is based on different principles: equity, diversity, and social justice. It aims to provide equal learning opportunity for every child. And we all know that the Ministry of Education here in Jamaica has the motto that every child can learn. And that is something, it doesn't matter if the child is indeed has a disability, yes or no. But this concept of inclusive education also is endorsed based on the convention of the UNESCO, the United Nation, and it is something that is quite profound, and it is something that is important to us, based on UNESCO 2017. We also recognize that this inclusive education, as it is, gives the opportunity for children in our school system to really be able to explore, as you can observe from the picture that is on my screen. It doesn't matter if they are able-bodied or if they are not able-bodied children. So give me a sec. My computer technology fails you in some moments. All right, here we go. All right, my computer is freezing up at this current moment. Trying to get it All right. So we're not just only looking at the inclusive education, but when we speak of holistic, so my duty is to define the terms for us to better understand, and then I will flesh out the meat of the matter for us to understand and for us to embrace that when we see children with disabilities and able-bodied children, we don't separate them, but we put them together. We find means and ways so that they can enjoy physical education as it is. So when we speak of holistic success, it refers to the comprehensive achievement of an individual, encompassing not only academics or professional accomplishments, but also personal growth, physical health, emotional well-being, social relationships. This multidimensional perspective recognizes that true success is achieved through the balanced development of various life aspects, ensuring overall well-being and fulfillment. Holistic success involves the integration of intellect, emotion, social, and physical development, which promotes the whole person and enriches the whole persons. Now, there are some, it is importance is evidence, and this is how inclusive physical education is important to us. It plays a vital role in fostering holistic. So physical education plays a vital role in fostering holistic success, mind, body, soul, by ensuring that all students, regardless of their abilities and disabilities, participate in physical activities. The importance of inclusive PE can be understood through its impact on various dimensions. And there are several dimensions to holistic success. You have the physical health dimension. And that is when they engage in regular physical activity, their muscles will become stronger. And that is according to Foyle et al. 2018. We also have emotional well-being. And emotional well-being, as was demonstrated by our guest presenter before me, when she told of how well she felt when she participated, going to China and participating and having the opportunity to win 3 silver medals. How impactful emotionally that was, and you could see the smile on her face. So there's the emotional well-being, there's the social skills development, there's the cognitive development. But what I want us to see this afternoon on my slide, and this is key, is that through inclusive physical importance, which demonstrates its very importance, is that it brings about equity and inclusion. And we were given a little introduction how one person felt left out because they were not able to participate in various activity because he was too short. I'm not calling him any name now, you know, but he was too short. And so where it concerns equity and inclusion, and this is what it says, according to Black 2007, it embodies the principle, and these principles are important: equity and inclusion, ensuring that all students have equal access to physical education. All students, whether they are tall or short, have equal access. And this is what Black says. And also, not just equal access, but it challenges the social norms. Why should we use a short person in our goal? Why? You know, these are the questions, these are the social questions that are being asked of us. And we have to understand the social questions and address them as they should. We also recognize that it reduces stigma. So when you have them, when you have, I'm not beating on the bush, you know, but when you have short people participating with tall people, it allows them to feel together. You understand? You include them and it reduces the stigma that is associated. So this when you have somebody who is blind, somebody who is mentally challenged, whichever disability, having them being included, help remove the stigma and lessens, if not remove it totally, but lessens the stigma, promoting a more inclusive and accepting of the society. And we all know how Jamaica is at this current moment and the challenges that exist. But also, the next principle and importance is the emotional well-being, as I cited earlier by introducing. Participation in physical activities can significantly boost mental issues. So sometimes people don't need to take any medicine. Just participate in the sports. Do look running in groups. And that's why able-bodied people and persons with disabilities coming together helps the emotional prosperity there. Inclusive PE promotes self-esteem. Listen to these benefits, in a man. Self-esteem for both those who are able and disabled. Reduces stress and also improving the mood through the release of these endorphins during exercise. And this is according to Goodwin Watkins in 2020, is that inclusive PE based on the environment helps the students with disabilities feel more accepted. As you have observed, this webinar is so important, and we had sent out several, I believe, information to different people because we want people to be aware of these benefits. And also, it enhances their emotional well-being, as is stated. Now, inclusive education, while beneficial and essential for equity, it faces several challenges. Wow. And for someone living in the developing nation, not third world as it is stated, we can attest to many of these challenges, these issues. And one of them is resource limitation. If we don't have as much funds to take care of the able body, it is stated, where will we find the funds from to improve the system? And also, where will we find the resources from to improve the system and also add to what is there? So we see that as a challenge. Teacher training is also a big challenge. Training our teachers to cope, where we have both everybody and those who have disability to work in the same space, is a challenge. And getting teachers in this 21st century to prepare for this reality is needed. We see, based on our curriculum, how rigid the curriculum is, this also is a challenge. Lack of support services, classroom management, that also is a challenge. But with all of these challenges, I want to say to us that with all of these challenges, because these challenges are real and we must accept the reality of these challenges. We're not beating around the bush, but we're highlighting these challenges for us to understand that these challenges exist. But I want to say to us that behind these challenges, we do have successful story. I hear somebody saying, thank God for the successful story. I hear somebody say, thank the Most High for the successful story. And I hear somebody say, sir, tell me why successful stories that we have. Let me proceed to let us know the successful story. No, our cousin, neighbor, relatives far away in the United States, there are several schools that have implemented this inclusive physical education program. And based on that, these schools that are listed, even though they're American schools, they are set as templates that we, as it is said, when America sneeze, Jamaica will catch a cold. So I strongly believe that if we look at the blueprint that is followed by these successful schools, and just to name three of these schools, Bloomfield Heights Schools, Fairfax Community Public Schools, and Chicago Public Schools. They are in essence are employing this program where inclusive physical education is concerned for greater success. Now listen to this. Listen to Bloomfield. Bloomfield is located in Michigan. No, the program that they're using is Unified Champion School Special Olympics, where both the able and those who are disabled, they come together. Look at the description of the program. As part of the Unified Champion Schools program, Bloomfield Heights schools integrate Special Olympics activity into their school communities, combining inclusive sports, youth leadership, and whole school engagement to foster an inclusive school climate. Watch this. Look at the success. The program has successfully promoted social inclusion. Amen to that. Reduce bullying. That is true. And improve attitudes towards individuals with disabilities within the school community. And this is just to state one. No, I know we are focusing on Jamaica, but I believe that looking at these schools which are outside of Jamaica can help us to implement something that is tangible and is of utmost importance. Watch this reality. Watch this reality. And I think this reality is so true. In conclusion, I want to state this as I close. The goal of inclusive education is to ensure that all children, black and white and Muslim, Hispanic, those who can see, those who can't see, those who can hear, and those who can't hear, students have the opportunity to participate fully in mainstream education system settings, promoting equal access to learning and fostering an environment of respect. Yes, man, respect. RESPECT and support. And this is according to UNESCO 2020. In short terms, inclusive education aims to ensure that all students, regardless of their abilities or disabilities, learn together in mainstream schools. As I said, I know that in Jamaica, we don't necessarily see schools where this magnitude is concerned because of the challenges that exist. But I believe if we can earmark, or if we as PE teachers can use a sample size in one of our classes where we have able and disabled coming together and using that sample size as a success, it will then better enable us and enhance us to sell the program based on the benefits that exist from inclusive education. Hence, if there's any more, if you're in doubt and you need more encouragement or more information, my references has them, and you can contact me offline and I can help you to get more resources to help you to transform your class space. Because we as educators, our duty is to make sure that the children within our care feel safe, have the opportunity to excel. Thank you for listening to this presentation. And I hope and I implore you, make sure you walk good as you use this information for betterment.
Thank you very much, Mr. Daly. At this time, we are going to call on Frederick. Gabidan, because I'm sure persons would have some questions they would like to ask for you, Mr. Daly, to provide some answers for. So, Frederick, I am sorry. Gabidan.
Take it over, Mr.
Yes,
Gabidan.
good afternoon again, everyone. I trust that you are informed and you are enjoying yourself and learning. I hope that when you're finished this afternoon, I would be proud, to see our country changing and shifting gears as it relates to inclusiveness in that of physical education and sport, especially in our classrooms. And it will also be nice to see us not only having boys and girls champs for able bodied boys and girls, but it will be nice to see we have para champs, for these athletes. But what I'm here for is two things. First, we want to see if we have any questions to ask our speaker who just spoke just now on inclusiveness in physical education. Any questions from the viewers at this time? Any questions? And remember to take your time. We know you have a lot of questions to ask. But take your time. Don't rush the chat too much. As we can only manage so much and no more. We don't have any questions as yet. And while we we have a question. They're saying this is from it is Brown Register. It would be really it would really be nice to see disabled students participating in ISA competitions. What do you think about that, sir? She's asking if you think it would be really nice to see disabled students being participating in ISA competitions.
Definitely it would be nice, because I think it is needed, and it would give the fans and give the schools and give the community that these children are from, more opportunity to embrace them, and where it concerns the disabled themselves, their self-esteem would better be able to increase.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, sir.
So true. I
I
agree.
don't see any more questions, and I want to ask two questions of myself before I hand over to our able moderator. And these two questions are not for my speaker, but for you, our viewers who are enjoying your time with us this afternoon. And guess what? You are not going to you're not going to.
Milton,
Yes, sir.
there's something else. There's something else. I think
We
there's
have
another
another question? Oh, yes. Thank you very much for that, Sir Robinson. Question. Based on your experience as a physical education teacher, Sir Daly, what are some of the immediate needs to address these issues in schools?
Well, we have teacher training is of utmost importance, because that will enable the teachers with empathy and the very various techniques in how to manage and blend and put the both able and disabled together, so that the cohesiveness is achieved. So teacher training, I believe, and also there's financial, where it concerns infrastructure, finance, where it concerns programs and those things. So financing from the government part, and also school-wise from the Old Boys Association, Old Girls Association. That is also, I believe, is important. So those two things, training and teachers part, and financial need to build these programs, so that the school community and at large, and I must admit too that because of how rigid the curriculum is, so allowing the curriculum to be more flexible can also aid in that too.
Okay. Thank you very much, and I must say I concur with you. You know, it is very important if we have the teachers having a wealth of knowledge. You know, and as you rightly said, you know, finance is going to be a very important thing in that we are going to be needing to purchase some equipment. You know, for these physically, some mentally challenged as well individuals. So, good answer, sir. And thank you so much again for your.
Milton, before you jump into that other section,
Yes, sir.
may I?
Yes, you may.
The first question, I can't recall who asked that question. I think it made mention of the Isaron competition. I just wanted to have some clarity on that question, what it means if they would want to see a ISA run competition for students with special needs, or you should have ISA run competition that is inclusive. So it's a mixture of students that are able-bodied and, you know, otherwise. Can that person provide that answer?
I agree.
If I may say something, when I answered the question, I was thinking in both aspects, to have competition where both the able and disabled are there, and also to have competition where the disabled is by themselves just the same. So I was answering the question based on those two dimensions in my mind.
Just to clarify, Mr. Robinson, it was not really a question. The question mark at the end was an error, which a comment followed to say it wasn't a question. It was a comment. If we're going to talk about inclusion and we're going to include these students to participate in physical education classes, just as we have co-curricular programs for able-bodied students, it would be nice to have co-curricular programs for the disabled and include them in competition. So if it means a mix, we probably don't have a large enough population to host a competition just for disabled students in ISA-run competitions, but it would be nice to have them included.
That is so true.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Legister. You know, because, you know, hearing that question, it takes me back to some years ago when the now incarcerated athlete from South Africa. What's his name again? Pastore? Yes. When there was this big debate that, because of the time that he was running in 400 meter, he should be given a chance to run with the other athletes. And persons were saying no, because he would be gaining an unfair advantage because of his legs. So he's not using energy, and he would be less prone to lactic acid because he would have less muscles working and all of that. So we were hearing that argument. So, I mean, I don't know if anybody would want to, say if that is true or not. Somebody participating with less of a limb would be at an advantage or not.
I will see nobody commented.
I don't know if you're watching the chat, even though no one has commented on that, which I believe somebody will shortly. There's a question that is being asked while Mr. Robinson was making that question. What was that question, Mr. Gabidan?
So I'm seeing in the chat here where Carrie-Ann Poise, she's asking what can be done to develop some of these programs in school and to get PE teachers to better be equipped to deal with the children with disabilities.
If I may, where the programs in school is, I think there needs to be more support where more of these webinars and workshops are needed, and more manpower specialists in crafting these programs to suit the situation that exists for the growth of our children holistically, for the disabled and the able-bodied coming together. Where the PE teachers is concerned, it is said that knowledge is power. And so having the opportunity to attend these seminars, these webinars, is important because you get to learn new skills, you get new information, and it is with these skills and these information then that you can use now to better yourself. So the PE teacher, in essence, has the opportunity when he or she sees these initiatives, these programs, and jump on board and learn. And the government of Jamaica, they can set up these things, call these conferences, and have more teacher upliftment for PE teacher. I know it is a challenge within our jurisdiction, within our PE community in Jamaica at large, where we don't have much seminars, little to none every year. And that poses a challenge. The maths teacher has seminars, English teacher has seminars. What about the PE teacher? So we have the government in essence, but the PE teacher in essence has to be looking out for these things to try to uplift him or herself.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. And as you rightly said, someone commented, and we have Mrs. Nail going register here. This lady she's big on inclusiveness in physical education, I must say. Knowing her from a while back. So she's commenting that the competition organizers will have to make the rules flexible to prevent this from happening. And he said it can be managed by revisiting some of the competitions, example, boys and girls champs, introducing events for disabled students, and use their standards for worldwide to guide qualifications to compete. So that's our comment based on the information we were delving into just now. But it would be a good thing, to add them as being a part. I must say, yes, we will not have enough. I believe at this time to have a competition for themselves only. But it will be a good thing. It will be a difference, and I believe Jamaica will be a leader in this direction, and the rest of the world, I believe, will follow, as we are already a trendsetter in sports, as we already know. All right.
Good afternoon.
Mr.
May
Go ahead.
So I'm saying we could also have involved the Jamaica Paralympic Association. I have not heard any mention of getting them on board. And as recent as 2 weeks ago, they had a workshop in Kingston where they invite persons from the Caribbean, look at ways to enhance the teaching or the instruction with person with disability. So that is where we can start by getting the Paralympic Association involved.
Thank you, Mr. McIntosh. Really appreciate that. You know, what did I say? Right now, it's three of us on the screen. Three heads
Yeah,
are better
Mr. Yabedad. Welcome, Mr. McIntosh. I haven't seen you in a long time, man. Nice to try. But
Yes, sir.
I wanted to comment though, and I don't want to turn this into a panel discussion. However, I am given the question I asked just now and the response that is given, where the rules can be altered to ensure that we have fairness in events. You know, I just want to say that can be done. However, you know, there are some events that, you know, scientifically, you know, it can give an advantage to a certain group of persons as it relates to another group of persons. Like the 400 meters, for example, you know, an event that we know, and it is synonymous with what we call lactic acid. And, you know, we all know how lactic acid works, how it is formed, you know, in the Krebs cycle, where the pyruvic acid, you know, will also will convert into lactic acid, you know, using the carbon dioxide and the other things that is unwanted in the cell to make lactic acid. So, and this happens over time, and it gets worse over time. So we are saying that if somebody have less muscle, and based on physiology, this is my reasoning. I am saying that if somebody have less muscles working in that event, then, you know, that person might have less lactic acid building up, and that person might be given an advantage to complete an event with less fatigue. You know, that is what I wanted to add to the party. But, you know, I understand and I do support, you know, that this is something that ISA can look at. And I think, you know, it is for us to push this concept. That is why we're having this webinar. Well done. Milton, are you through?
Thank you very much, Sir Winston. But just in the interest of time, I just want to ask two quick questions for giveaway. So yes, Sir Daniel Bent was giving away Digicel credit. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? There are not only one telephone service provider in Jamaica. We have more than two, but we have two popular ones, and that are Flow as well. So we have Flow credit, you know. So we are being inclusive at this time, and we are catering to Flow customers. So we have Flow credit to give away. But how we're going to do it, we're going to be doing it a little different, as I said before, as it relates to the interest of time, in that you are going to be the name again, Milton Gavidan. You can private message me, and on the Zoom on YouTube you can also send your message and answering the questions, and the first correct answer will receive Flow credit. All right, courtesy of Flow. So question number one, how many times did Sylvia Grant participate in the Paralympic Games? So how many times did Sylvia Grant participate in the Paralympic Games? That's question one. And for question 2, I want you to, based on our speaker, Mr. Marvin Daly's presentation, define what is inclusive physical education. Let's define what is inclusive physical education. Mr. Robinson, please, you may continue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gabidar. And we must also extend words of appreciation and gratitude to Mr. Daly for a well done presentation. He was armed, he was strapped with information, he preached the gospel. But I am hoping that Mr. Daly is preaching to the converted, because that is what we want. We want persons to be converted into believing in inclusive physical education, achieving holistic success. But I can't let Marvin get away, because at some point in time, I think he was jabbing at me. He was talking, I think he took about 5 minutes speaking about short and height. I can't let that slide. Mr. Daly, did you know that 2 of the best footballers we have ever seen, they are very short? And we can also argue that some of the better technical footballers, they are short.
Mr. Robinson, I said
Mr. Daly,
goalkeepers.
yes, but we can also speak of goalkeepers that are short, that were very good. Just to add that. But it was a presentation well done. And we applaud you for your efforts. Thank you very much on behalf of all of us. So I want to ask a question before we move on. Just to shake things up a little. I want 2 persons. So Milton, you are going to assist me with this. I want 2 persons, probably one on this platform and one on YouTube. Just quickly tell me, what is one goal you would like to accomplish during your lifetime? And I might start, I might give let me give my answer. I think one goal I would want to accomplish during my lifetime, is to grow up and be the best version of me, and to also represent my country in some way, shape, or form. So, Yabedan, you can assist me in getting 2 responses. So again, what is one goal you would like to accomplish during your lifetime? Are we getting any answers? Come on.
I see Giovanni Parkinson to be the next future Prime Minister.
Okay.
Kerry and Poise saying to ensure I don't leave any unfinished task.
Oh, nice.
We have another one, Deron Davy, getting a lifetime job as a coach or PE teacher.
And that is wonderful. So it is for me to say to you, you can all be what you want to be. Just believe and continue to work. So we will now move. We did up into session 4 and we did step into session 5. What will we do into session 6? That's a question. So we hopped in one, we stepped in the other. So we should know. Let me see those who went to PE class. We are going to what? What was that? Jump. I am seeing jumping. Yes, somebody did went to PE class. So I mean, somebody said big up GC. But I would share a story to you. when I was a student at GC Foster, you know, when we were doing track and field, especially the field events, the jumps, we would have the seniors coming to the track and they would watch us. And when persons are on the runway and they are running down, going through the different parts of the takeoff, you would hear the seniors saying, hop, step, mundo. And for those who don't know what is the mundo, it is the material that makes the track. You know, because most time persons won't reach to the sandpit. They will land on the track, and that's a no jump. So I am not saying that I am one of those persons who sometimes hit the track, because I always get to the target, which is the pit. And that is what we hope to achieve with session 6. We will be jumping into session 6. So session 6 will take the form of a panel discussion where we will discuss the topic, developing an actionable plan for inclusive physical education. I know somebody had asked a question, what are some of the things you can do to create an inclusive classroom? I think for this session, some answers should be provided. But before we get into the meat of the matter, please allow me to introduce to you the panelists of this panel discussion. Mr. Gabidan. Good. Can you please give us a second while our technician arranges us? Okay, it seems as if our technician we're having some technical difficulties.
Will be on shortly. My Zoom jumped off a while ago. So, you know,
Okay. All right, so
I don't know how, but important. You're becoming one of the most powerful men the city has ever seen. A planet for that matter.
so in the meantime, can we have some music? Nice. Okay.
Negative tachyons replicating inside Iris' body. Interesting. I don't know if she's
All right, good. So I will now introduce to you the panel for our panel discussion. And as I call your name and introduce you, you can just raise your hand so that persons. Oh, the names are there as well. So first up, we have Miss Kimona Vassell, a teacher at the Immaculate Conception High School for Girls. She has over 5 years teaching experience in physical education. Can you please acknowledge the crowd? Miss Vassar? That's Miss Vassar. Second up, we have Mrs. Dana Frater Johnson, a teacher at the Enid Bennett High School, formerly known as Bagwalk High. She has a combination of over 16 years teaching physical education and integrated science. Please be acknowledged. Wonderful. We move to Mr. Milton Gabidan, a PE teacher at the Dunoon Technical High School. He has 15 years teaching experience. Please be acknowledged.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. Then we have Mr. Marvin Daly, physical education teacher with over 8 years experience. He is currently teaching at the Mount Peter Primary School, and that's in Hanover. Welcome to town, Mr. Daly. And last, but certainly by no means least, we have Mr. Frederick Montague, a teacher at the Kuwait American School in, yes, you guess it right, in Kuwait. So, good morning to you, Mr. Montague. He has 14 years
Yes, good morning.
teaching experience in physical experience. Welcome, everyone.
Nice to be here.
Wonderful. So to start off our discussion, we must highlight that research has shown that promoting inclusivity in physical education, PE, is critical for fostering supportive environment where all students feel valued and empowered to participate fully regardless of their physical abilities and limitations, and have equal access to physical education activities. Developing an action plans. Studies have shown that posits that developing an actionable plan for inclusive physical education involves 1, understanding the diverse needs of students. 2, designing adaptable curricula. 3, providing appropriate teacher training. And 4, allocating necessary resources and facilities. 5, continuous evaluation of inclusive physical education program, among others, such as promoting peer support and leadership. We could even look at promotion of inclusion beyond the classroom. So we will start by going with the beauties before the, I don't want anybody to say I said beast. So let me go again. I will start by going with the beauties before the others. So no one can ever say I call him beast. Sorry about that. So we'll start with question 1. And question 1 will go to Kimona. Kimona, please explain to us what is a needs assessment, and then explain how should needs assessment be done to achieve an inclusive physical education program.
All right, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Winston Robinson. All right, so first, let me define what's needs assessment, because this might be a term that some persons may not be familiar with. So a needs assessment is a systematic process to identify and address gaps in a program, ensuring it meets the diverse needs of its participants. What do I mean by program? I mean a structured set of activities or curriculum designed to achieve set goals. Example, a year-long curriculum designed to promote physical fitness and skill development among students. All right, so a program like this, oftentimes a program like this includes study units. These are like all the topics that we cover right throughout the school year. For example, you know, from September to December is called, schools classify it as what? Christmas semester or Christmas term. Then we have the January to about early April, yes, where we have about the Easter term, that's the second term. And then the third term in school is often from about early April to about the last part of June, and that's classified as the summer term. So that's where all the units has been covered in the classroom by the teachers. Then the objectives, the assessment method, and inclusive strategies. So these are all what's included in a curriculum, in a program. All right, so how do we make sure all voices are heard in this process? Even the ones that tend to whisper in the back of the room. For an inclusive physical education program, we start by defining clear objectives, focus on inclusivity, then gather data through surveys, observations, and interviews with students, parents, and educators. Analyzing this data to pinpoint barriers and specific needs. So based on the analysis, we developed an action plan incorporating strategies like teacher training, adopting equipment and facilities, and modifying the curriculum. So implementing this plan is followed by regular monitoring and evaluation to ensure its effectiveness and make the necessary adjustments. You know, having a plan like this, we must ensure that we engage the different stakeholders. So stakeholders include students, parents, teachers, school administrators, and community members. So in continuous dialogues and collaboration is crucial for sustaining an inclusive PE, physical education environment. After all, the best way to ensure everyone participate in a program like this, we need to ensure everyone is invited to the conversation. Thank you, Mr. Robinson.
Thank you very much, Ms. Vassell. So we can see where you are saying that a needs assessment is really speaking to the gathering of information, is to making that assessment of what are the issues, what are the situations, you know, what are the diversity in your class, you know, and you know what we are getting. You are saying that, you know, these information can be gathered through observation and also surveys where you speak to persons and all of that. You know, that's a lot. Thanks much. We will move on to question or to the second panelist. Dana, talk to us about the importance of designing an inclusive curriculum to achieving an inclusive physical education program.
Okay, thank you for that question, Mr. Robinson. Good evening, everyone. Designing an inclusive curriculum is crucial for achieving an inclusive physical education program. So this approach ensures that all students, regardless of their abilities, their background, or needs, can fully participate and benefit from physical education. Now, Mr. Robinson, here is why it is important to implement it in school. One, it provides equity and access, where students have an equitable access to PE that fosters a sense of belonging. Two, according to the USA Department of Education, inclusive PE programs can help reduce disparities in health, fitness, levels among students of different background and abilities, where you have students have a equitable access to PE, and this will definitely foster physical education and inclusiveness. You can so have a support diverse learning needs. We have to take into consideration that students come to school with different backgrounds, different learning style, and different ability. So inclusive curriculum will address these differences by offering a range of activities that teaching method that cater for diverse needs. Enhancing school skills and community building. Now this inclusive PE program provides social interaction and collaboration among students from different backgrounds. Here, Winston, this interaction helps build social skill, empathy, and of course, a sense of community. When students engage in activities together, it definitely fosters a more inclusive school settings. Examples of school settings includes, of course, one, adaptable physical education. Here, a school might use modified sport equipment like lighter balls or adjustable nets and design activity that can easily adjust to different skills. Teacher trained in app can help develop a personalized fitness plan that accommodates individuals' ability. This ensures that students can participate and achieve to their full or best potential. Another example in school setting would be, of course, the universal design for learning. In physical education, UDL can apply by providing multiple means, right, to like representation such as auditory or visual instruction, and you can have engagement that can be either group activities or individual challenges. For instance, a PE teacher might offer a choice between playing netball with students or to have them engage in a dance routine. This definitely allows students to select activity that match their interests and their ability. Lieberman in 2017 emphasizes that by applying UDL in PE, directly address diverse learning needs and foster an inclusive environment where every student feels valuable, they're valued and capable. Now, Winston, let me tell you, to effectively implement an inclusive curriculum in physical education, school should provide one, professional development, where you have teachers receive ongoing training strategies. Two, engage them in collaborating planning, where all the stakeholders, for example, the teachers, the parents, the student, they should work together to design and refine the curriculum,
ensuring it meets the needs of all learners. Afterwards, ensure that it is monitored and evaluate the program, right? This is where schools would now regularly assess the effectiveness of their physical education program and make adjustment based on the students' feedback and performance data. Winston, Mr. Robinson, everyone, I am sure by prioritizing inclusivity in physical education, schools will definitely create a more equitable and supportive learning environment that benefits all students, fostering lifelong healthy habits and positive social interaction. I thank you.
And I thank you too. We could definitely hear the passion coming from you, man. I mean, you were firing away. I mean, it seems as if you were waiting to exhale to answer that question. Well done. So we could take from what you're saying that the importance of inclusive curriculum is to really give everybody a chance to achieve. And we are getting from you that you're saying that, you know, in doing all of that, we must set goals. And the goals, you know, should be smart. They should be specific. They should be measurable. They should be achievable. I mean, you can't set a goal where you have, where you ask probably an ant to go and swim, when we all know an ant, you know, is not able to swim. So, or a crocodile or an alligator to climb a tree, when we know that it is not physically possible for them. We want to thank you for your input. So we will move on to our third panelist. We ask Milton. Milton, we all understand the importance of teacher training. However, explain to us why training and professional development of teachers are important to inclusive physical education program.
Good evening again, everyone, and thank you very much, Mr. Robinson, for allowing me to, you know, explain why teacher training is very important in this instance. You know, there are a lot of things, I must say, and if I begin to start to look at all of them, we'll stay here all evening, but we don't have that time. All right, so quickly, I want us to understand just a few things. That firstly, if teachers are trained, you know, to deal with physically challenged, mentally challenged students, it will make the classroom, you know, different, you know, more enhancing. And one of the things that can be done, it will foster a positive and inclusive classroom environment. So you will go to a classroom that will cater for all individuals. Or speaker, one of our speakers, Mr. Daly, spoke to us earlier and defined what inclusive physical education is all about, you know. So it will enable us as teachers, if we are trained, you know, to create that of inclusive classroom for us PE teachers. When we have practicals, it will, you know, enable us in setting up our lesson plan, setting up the area or the playing field outside to adhere to that of students, you know, who are challenged somewhat. Also, it will enhance the teacher's knowledge and skills to adapt instruction for diverse learners, you know. So we know, we are taught to, you know, create a diverse lesson plans for students already, but not in its entirety as it relates to the physically challenged, mentally challenged students. It's not going to be easy, I must tell you, because, you know, our education system, we have like 35-45 students to one teacher in most high schools. it's not going to be easy. So something is going to be need to be done to see how we can create that classroom that will cater for all individuals and not just those who are fully able. I applauded Miss Sylvia Grant earlier when she went to the school to coach and teach. She ensured that those who were physically challenged were a part of regular classes. She went and did the change, and that's something that we need to do as teachers. But first, we have to be educated. It would encourage culturally and responsive teaching practices, that we don't just teach head on. We cater to each and every student. And I must say, I want to use myself as an example in two instances. One, at Dunlop Park Technical High School, where I currently teach. I remember one year, we had this physically challenged girl, and in having her, it was a challenge for I was teaching netball. Basketball at the time, and it was a challenge for her in catching the ball. And not getting, let me say, full training. It sparked me. How can I help this young lady? And after teaching everyone else how to catch a ball, I took her one side and I taught her individually while everybody else was practicing in my view. And in teaching her, after she got it, I brought her back into the classroom with everyone else, and I was so proud of her. And I must say, she was one of the students who got one of the highest grades. I'm also a teacher of swimming, so I teach swimming, and I remember getting a mentally challenged girl, and the first time I got her, I must tell you, when the parent told me that, boy, she's mentally challenged and she has this and she has that, my heart skipped a beat. I said, how am I going to manage teaching this individual at this time? And thank the good Lord helped me at that time, I must say. And we started, and I was learning while teaching how to teach her, being mentally challenged, and it worked out. And looking at it and looking at all this information that we have together, ladies and gentlemen, I must say, if I was even better prepared, I would probably think about even having classes just for physically, mentally challenged individuals. And into closing, we need to develop teachers' confidence and competence in teaching inclusive physical education. It's very, very, very important. We need to see how best we can do that as a nation, so we can have everybody being included and not left out in this 21st century.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gavidan. I can see, the experience coming out there, the experience of teaching for 15 years. You could relate stories with us. Well done. But as it relates to the development and the training for teachers, also, I would add that, there are times, given our space where, we have a lot of workshops, for physical education teachers. I think the onus is on us too to do our research. We have to read a little. Well, I'm not saying that persons are not reading, but probably we might need to read a little more on this aspect of inclusive physical education, where we can better understand, because there's a whole lot of literature out there, and you can check our website. It will point you to some, and there are articles that will help to guide you in achieving this goal, inclusive classroom. However, we are going to move on. We now turn to Mr. Daly. Mr. Daly, how important are equipment and physical environment to inclusive physical education?
Just want to highlight, thank you once more for having me. Just want to highlight that equipment is very, very important because of the critical components that it has. Both equipment and physical environment, they play a significant role in ensuring that all students, regardless of their abilities, yeah, can participate fully and benefit from physical education activities. And here's why they are so important. Because of the accessibility, where how easy it is to access the equipment and access the environment, the space that they're going to participate in. Also, safety is extremely important. Safety in using the equipment and safety within the environment. And also where it concerns engaging the children, that's of utmost importance, and engage them in various ways based on the variety of equipment that you have. Developing skills, adapting to the tools that you have at hand, and adapting to the environment. Suppose you just have a small field to work with, suppose you don't have a field to work with, just a little patch, a little pathway, you know, how best to use that. And also, finally, it promotes independence. And when you look at the environment and when you look at the equipment, by working with these things, these two things, it promotes independence. Now, in concluding, overall, the right equipment and a well-designed physical environment are fundamental to the success of inclusive PE programs. So having the right equipment, the well-designed program, that is very essential. They ensure that all students, regardless of their abilities, can participate safely. And that is my 2 cents where that is concerned.
Thank you, Mr. Daly. So, as it relates to the facility and the equipment, you know, I am more so concerned about the facilities, you know, the environment, because, you know, looking around the schools, I mean, these schools are not so much wheelchair friendly. They are not friendly to students with special needs and disabilities. They you know, for most school you can't access, even for a able-bodied student. It is a task to really move down to the playing field, you know, much more somebody in a wheelchair and that sort of thing. You know, I think this, you know, this should be government, a government issue to deal with. However, we will move on, and we will move on to our 5th panelist, Mr. Frederick Montague.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother.
I want to hear from you, Mr. Montague. I want to hear from you why we need to evaluate effectiveness of inclusive physical education program.
Well, that's a very good question, a magnificent question. But before I even delve into that, we need to understand one thing, that when it comes on to inclusion in physical education, it is crucial. It's extremely important because it creates a sense of belonging for those who are disabled. It promotes diversity, and it creates equal opportunities. So we have to take all of those things into consideration, you know? So we as physical education practitioners, we have to set things in place where certain accommodations are made for students who are physically disabled, persons the whole concept of inclusion in physical education is geared towards them. So we as physical education practitioners, we have to set those things in place. But let me delve into the question that you asked. Evaluating the effectiveness of an inclusive physical education program. In a nutshell, it's crucial for many different reasons, a multiplicity of reasons. One such reason would be the fact that it promotes equity and access. What do I mean by equity? When it comes on to inclusive physical education programs, it aims to evaluate, it aims to create some form of access to all students regardless of their abilities. So evaluation helps to ensure that these programs are truly inclusive, and it meets the diverse needs of all students, because every child they have their own needs, and we as physical education practitioners, we have to cater to these needs, and it includes those who are disabled. Number two, it enhances student outcomes. By assessing the effectiveness of an inclusive physical education program, teachers can determine how well the program supports physical education and the social and emotional development of all the students. So we have to focus on the social interactions and setting things in place, whereas we can actually build that child's self-esteem. Number three, it helps us to identify barriers and facilitates improvement. Now, systematic evaluation can highlight the barriers that prevent full inclusion, because if we don't identify these barriers, we're wasting our time as physical education practitioners. And when we don't have when we have a lack of equipment, and when we have insufficient teacher training, because training is important to them, if you're not fully trained to cater to the needs of an individual who is physically disabled, you're wasting your time. So training is important. And when you are properly trained in that regard, you're more able to cater to the needs of these students. Now, we need support. Support for professional development is crucial as well. Because when we understand the strengths and weaknesses of our teachers, we're more able to help them. We're more able to act as a support system. Far too many times, teachers, we have our strengths and we have our weaknesses, but at the same time, we have a thing called ego. We refuse to put it on the forefront so others can give their input and assist us. So we have to put ego aside, and we have to let individuals know what our strengths are and what our weaknesses are. And I'm going to delve into policy and funding decisions. You know, we have to, when it comes on to diversification and the allocation of resources and funding, demonstrating the program's impact can attract additional support and investment. So we can get investments from a multiplicity of firms, as long as we create a proposal and we set things in place whereas the expansion of inclusive physical education and the initiatives are fully laid out. So that's just my 2 cents.
Thank you very much, Mr. Montague. That is not 2 cents. You know, that sounds like a whole lot more. You know, it's a whole lot of information you're given. I mean, time is against us. I know that there are much more for us to discuss. There are much more for us to talk about. However, time is against us, as I said earlier. So I will point you to the website. I will also point you to the YouTube channel for you to get information, and for those who would have missed parts of this sports webinar, you can go there and view it. I would like to say to the participants, please pay attention to the chat. There's a link inside it. I want you to click on it and complete that evaluation. Completing that evaluation will qualify you to get the certificate of participation. You know, there's not much more time for us to go on. So I will now turn over to Mr. Frederick Montague, who will take us through the closing function. But it was a pleasure being here. You have been a wonderful audience, and I did enjoy myself. You know, Thanks again. Thanks for this opportunity. Blessings.
Let me get back to you, son.
Give me just 1 minute. I'm in a lot of noise. Give me a second, please. Give me 1 second so I can do the vote of thanks. All right. My apologies for that short wait. My deepest apologies. No, we have learned a lot, and I'm going to use this medium to thank everyone who participated. No, distinguished guests, esteemed speakers, and their participants. As we draw this enlightening webinar to a close, it is my honor and privilege to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks on behalf of everyone present here. Firstly, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to our esteemed speakers. Your insightful contributions and comprehensive presentations have enriched our understanding of the significance of inclusive education. Each of you has brought a unique perspective that illuminated the various facets of holistic success in this vital field. Your expertise, dedication, and passion for fostering an inclusive environment in physical education are truly inspiring. We have gained invaluable knowledge and practical strategies that can implement in our own setting to ensure that every child, every student can strive. I would also like to thank the assessors who took time out of their schedule to partake in our webinar, Mr. Andre Waugh, Mr. Michael McIntosh, and Ms. Cassandra Morrison. We're deeply grateful to our first speaker, Mr. Giovanni Parkins, our second speaker, Mr. Joseph Lemmy, our third speaker, Mr. Orion Gardner, and our fourth speaker, Ms. Sylvia Grant, and our fifth speaker, Mr. Marvin Daly, for sharing their expertise and experiences. Your discussions on adaptive physical education, the benefits of inclusivity in sports, strategies for effective implementation, and real-life success stories have been nothing short of enlightening. Your commitment to promoting inclusivity and holistic success in physical education resonates with our mission and our vision. In addition, we would like to extend our sincere thanks to our organizing committee for their meticulous planning and seamless execution of this webinar. Your hard work and your dedication behind the scenes have made this event possible and successful. We're also grateful to all the participants for your active engagement and thought-provoking questions. Your participation has enriched the discussions and added depth to our understanding of the topics covered. Finally, I would like to take a moment to express our profound gratitude to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. We thank him for his divine guidance and blessings throughout this event. His presence has been our strength, and his wisdom has illuminated our path, allowing us to come together and share knowledge in a spirit of collaboration and unity. As we conclude this webinar, let us carry forward the knowledge and inspiration we have gained. Let us continue to strive for inclusivity in physical education, ensuring that every individual can achieve holistic success. Thank you, and may God bless you. And Thank you, and may God bless you all. And thank you once again.
Okay, thank you everyone for being here. It was a day well spent. Just to remind you that you need to complete the evaluation forms so we can do the certificates. Those on the YouTube channel, we also thank you. Thanks for viewing. Have a wonderful night.
Mr. Winston, Mr. Robinson, just before we go, all right, so we just want to remind our audience, or I just want to, yes. All right, so we had sent out some links in the chat, Zoom chat, and also on YouTube. That will take you to our site. We do have a website and also our YouTube channel where you could view more information on the topics or content that we have covered today in this webinar. So please ensure you just copy the link so when we come off here, you won't lose them. And the site that you could always use the YouTube channel to also communicate with us. All right, so do have yourself all a wonderful evening, and thank you very much for coming out and joining us here today.
Okay. I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say. Sun is shining down on me. Birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day. In every single way. The God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day. Baby in my arms, walking through the neighborhood, living in the present, not what I shoulda or could. I remember back when I was low as a rug. Now I'm standing up, look at what my father does, turning all things new, gray skies blue. Hear the church saying, won't he do it? I know he's got my back. That's why I'm singing that I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say. Sun is shining down on me. Birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day. In every single way. The God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day. It's a good day, no, it's great. Everything I prayed for didn't come in late. I got all I need and I didn't have to wait. Ask me if you love me, you didn't hesitate. Turning all things new, gray skies blue. Hear the church saying, won't he do it? I know he's got my back. That's why I'm singing that I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say. Sun is shining down on me. Birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day. In every single way. God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day. Okay. I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say. Sun is shining down on me. Birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day. In every single way. The God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day. Baby in my arms, walking through the neighborhood, living in the present, not what I shoulda or could. I remember back when I was low as a rug. Now I'm standing up, look at what my father does. Turning all things new, gray skies. Me.